Doop-a-doop.
Yeah.
Kind of a special knockoff hit or miss early lobby.
Exactly. Could be the applause button. Applause.
I don't deserve applause for that crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long you been hanging out on gun channels? I don't really recognize.
I was in the early days, and I got too involved with some local groups, but the local groups pretty much are fighting with each other. So I went back to on gun channels. Yeah, here nationally in southwestern Pennsylvania, we have the tactical guys and we have the FUDs, and the FUDs and the tactical guys are always fighting with each other. So it's like, you know what, I'm done fighting with this. If you don't want to support each other, fine, I'm going to go back on gun channels.
Yeah, it is frustrating. I mean, we're all kind of in the same group as like gun owner, and then some people do get really caught up and kind of fighting each other. It's like the way I look at it, there's a giant ball that we have to push down the street. Okay, and some people want to push it further than others. I mean, there are some people that want, whatever, some type of crazy thing, and other people are like, nah, we just want, this stuff. Well, guess what? At the beginning, you're still both going the same direction. So let's all push that same direction. And then when we each get to our little side streets, we can peel off and say, well, I'm happy here. I don't need to push anymore. As much as I am for, getting rid of the NFA, I mean, I'm probably one of the let's go all the way down the road type people. But I understand people who aren't, and that's fine, whatever. I can try and convince them of my thinking, but, oh, well, at this point, we still need to push that damn ball. So let's not be fighting, let's not be pushing the ball left and right when really we got to go straight down the road. And once we start going, then you can start veering left or right, whatever you want. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of, infighting kind of stuff. Kind of bugs me.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's what even here. Like, there's a couple of pro 2A groups, and they're all against each other. It's like two groups that are so-called quote malicious. The one is overtly racist. You go in there, it's like, I'm looking out a Nazi bunker in 1942. And the other guys, they're just straight up hillbillies. They just believe in 22. They have 22 for everything. 22 this, and they all should have 22, and they fight each other constantly. And then you have the two ranges where I belong to. They're both pretty cool. They both have shooting clubs there, so they're all right guys. So it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I would obviously agree with the racist people, but at the same time, I'm not going to fight against their efforts for more 2A stuff. I'll just disagree with them on the other part of it.
Oh yeah, of course. That's the only thing you can do. It's because we were at the public range here just outside of Washington. In PA, you just basically your hunting license or your annual range permit. They were there, and a group of black guys showed up, and they start fancying, like brandishing, doing like the quick draw. It's like, I'm leaving. I don't want to deal with this shit today, so I'm just going to go to the private range right down the road.
Yeah, see, and that is an example of something that's not productive because, okay, the black guys show up and they want to shoot. Well, guess what? That's a whole nother group of people that can help support us with gun rights or whatever.
Exactly.
But if they start living into that stereotype of, a bunch of racist rednecks or whatever, then those guys are going to say, you know what? Maybe guns are evil. I think I will vote for Hillary Clinton.
Exactly.
It's like, shit, dude, way to go.
Mm-hmm. I same with my girl's dad. My girl's dad, straight up FUD. Oh, I'm a lifelong Democrat. I like Republicans. Oh, I'm voting for Hillary Clinton. All I need is just my Model 700 and my over under 12 gauge, and I'm fine.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, they don't realize that once they get all the cool stuff, they're going to start going after the boring stuff too.
Exactly.
Because they really do wish they could go back in time and uninvent gunpowder.
Yep.
Seriously, Cat? Freaking Cat just took a shower in the spray bottle and just sitting there staring at me. I don't know how hard. Just stay off my fucking table. You go anywhere else. Just stay off my fucking table. They don't get it.
No, yeah, yeah. These foster cats my mom has are just growing everywhere.
That in my bedroom. I keep my bedroom door closed now because I like to be able to, like, I'm pretty allergic and whatnot, so I like to be able to sleep without, like, stop breathing. And they just paw at the door, like, all the time. Like, oh, there's one place I'm not allowed. That's where I want to be.
Yep, that's the same with my mom's dog. My mom's dog just goes around and just pees everywhere. It's like, this is mine, mine, mine. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? No, I gotta clean it up now.
But anyways, going back to the FUDs and whatnot, there's a guy I work with that I call him anti-gun, but probably a more accurate description would be a FUD. But it's like part of the thing, he likes to get me worked up, so he knows the things to say that piss me off. And I know he's doing it on purpose, but I still can't help myself. I still get pissed off when he says stupid things like, why do you need an AR? Or you don't need more than 10 bullets and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, fuck you. I don't need it. I'll need whatever I want to need. And even if I don't need it, I'm allowed to have it. So fuck off.
Exactly. It's like my girl's dad. It's like, hey, Mr. P. It's like, what happens one day? He said, you got your nice, over under, Benelli. It's a very nice, expensive shotgun, beautiful gun. So what happens when more than 3 guys come in? Well, I'll call the police. It's like, well, what if they break through to your safe room before the police get you? You got about a 9-minute wait time for where you live at the other end of the township here in Baldwin. Oh, I never thought about that before. Well, yeah, maybe you should get a semi-automatic.
Yeah, and again, in all likelihood, we're arguing about 0.01% stuff happening, but at the same time, I think it is important to be prepared for different stuff.
Oh, heck yeah, I'm an Eagle Scout. That's our motto: be prepared. Yeah, I prepare for the worst, hope for the best. If I don't need.
My favorite example, I guess I'm still actually kind of new into like hardcore gun stuff. I was shooting when I was a kid. I mean, there's a picture of me shooting my dad's 22 pistol when I was 4 years old. And, he's kneeling behind me, basically holding it, and I'm just pulling the trigger. So, yes, I have been exposed to guns for a long time, but he was never super into it. I mean, we had a pistol. He had, his dad's shotgun and rifle, or his grandpa's. Actually, I guess it was his grandpa's shotgun and his dad's rifle. But, and I had a shotgun when I was a teenager, but I didn't get my first handgun until a few years ago. And then since then, I've kind of been all in. I've bought a gun a year, except for this year. I bought 2 guns because I just ordered one and I'm waiting for it to get delivered to the store so I can pick it up. But, how's it going with that?
Yeah, I have about 6 or 8 handguns. I like to keep that many. I'm always looking for bartering or trading. Someone has a gun I like to say, hey, I have these guns. You want to trade? Some say yes, some say no. No.
Right. Oh, I remember I was going with that. So even before I was kind of like the, prepper stuff, like I still had that mindset. I used to carry just a little screwdriver in my pocket, just Phillips on one side, flat on the other. Like has a little clip on it, about the size of a pen, little thing. And I don't know how many times I used it. Let's say a handful of times. I'll admit it wasn't the most, like I didn't use it the most. But every time someone was like, damn, I wish I had a screwdriver, I'd pull it out and hand it to them. And then as they're fixing their little thing that they, otherwise would stay broken until they got home or whatever, they'd always look at me and be like, what kind of weirdo carries a screwdriver in his pocket? And so every time they would say that, I said, all right, give it back then.
Exactly. That's why I carry a multi-tool all the time. Our oven at work is always constantly. Some screws are popping off the handle. Some screws are popping off the belt. Blah, 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 this and that. So I just pull out the multi-tool. And the boss is like, well, how can you carry a multi-tool? It's because I can never find your toolbox. He's like, right. Oh, yeah, it's always leaves you locked in the office. Yeah, if I need to fix the belt real quick and I can never find you to get the keys to get in the office, then what do I do? Well, that's a good point.
Yeah. It's like, how come you carry that? Well, in case it needs to be used. Well, when is it ever going to need to be used? Okay, how about right now when you're using it? I just, the logic blows my mind.
Exactly.
But yeah, there was one kid, I snatched it out of his hands and I'm like, well, then fucking give it back to me because obviously there's never going to be a time that someone's going to need a screwdriver. So I'm just might as well throw it out right now. And I snatched it out of his hands and walked away.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. My multi-tool has a little hammer on the end. And they're like, well, why do you have the hammer? Yeah. We get our hot peppers pickled in from this local company and they use old-fashioned glass jars that canned. And you can only get these jars off by knocking them off with a hammer. I go, hot peppers, hammer, bang. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, hey, it's just that idea, being prepared and, you can take that to whatever extreme you want. In fact, I don't carry a screwdriver in my pocket anymore, and I haven't died because of it. There may have been some times where it's been inconvenient. I do have multi-tools around. I actually stopped carrying one in my pocket recently as well. I used to carry just like a mini one, and I had it in my back pocket, and that's what my wallet chain hooked up to. So instead of hooking it up to my actual wallet, I hooked it up to this multi-tool. And I don't know, I just kind of got out of habit of carrying it. I don't carry a chain anymore. So it's like, I just don't have it. And there's probably times it would have been useful, but I have them in my work pants, in my work backpack, in my car, stashed around the house. So it's like, I normally can get by.
Yeah, I usually have one in every room in the house. They especially are handy on working on for gun stuff. I find that out. That and an Allen key set.
Yeah. So I got a nice little Allen key set. I mean, it was cheap. I think like dollar store or whatever, but it's all like, it kind of looks like a Swiss Army knife type of thing. You just fold out whichever ones you want to use.
Yeah, I have one of those. Yeah, but I got mine from my brother. He's a mechanic, so he gets all his stuff from Snap-on. So yeah, it's the only difference is probably that one costs probably about $90 as compared to $3 from the dollar store.
Yeah, but I keep that in my work bag, and I don't use Allen wrenches a lot in my work, but every once in a while, like especially if you're ever tuning a gas train, then you need Allen keys.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we do that, so it's good to have. But I don't know, like I get some shit like from the work people of, well, because I'm not really like a maintenance guy or anything. Like I go into factories when they're doing startup and basically make sure whatever like the people built and installed, they did it correctly. And then when you start it up, make sure that it's, running properly, and then say, okay, yep, it's good. I'm going home now.
Oh yeah. Yeah. My cousin Georgie, he does that. He works for Caterpillar and he goes all over the world for Caterpillar. Yeah. Setting up the factories when they're retooling the factory. Yeah. He does all that, sets up the computers, make sure the line's running fine.
I'd like to go to Caterpillar. I guess my company's done a couple jobs for them. We deal mostly in paint, but I would love to see their paint shop because I heard it's just it's just like any other. It's just everything's like huge, and it goes like, they bring in like a big ass like bulldozer or whatever and spray all the stuff, and they got like these giant robots and shit. I'm like, that'd be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, he said they're big. He said they're bigger than that. He said, think about the ones you see painting cars. He said, imagine 3 times as bigger. I was like, wow, that's just big.
Yeah. Yeah, the one guy that I work with, was that Caterpillar or was it it might have been John Deere, because I know it was tractors. And anyways, like they had some time to kill or something, or what, like they got done with their stuff earlier, they were waiting for something. What anyways, the guy from the factory was like, hey, you want to go drive like, one of the like super fancy like commercial ones? Like, okay. So he was out back in this field, and these things are like freaking like, they run on autopilot. It's like they got all the GPS things, and it tells you exactly like how high your plow is, and and it maps out. So like when you do the rows, it lines it up like within, half an inch, so like you're not overlapping and all this different shit. He's like, dude, it was so cool. Like you're in a freaking like NASA command center, and it's a damn tractor.
Yeah, he showed me the inside of a caterpillar, of a caterpillar grader. It was like, oh my gosh, this looks like the space shuttle. And he said, yeah, it is. Everything is just GPS organized. So they punch in the coordinates and punch in, the length, width, height of the grader, how deep it grades. And he said, there you go. It's the only time the driver needs to do something unless something happens.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Well, especially for farm stuff, right? I mean, you're out in the field. It's it's all just rows.
Yeah, it's all
and
just
so there's no reason why they couldn't all be drones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're just basically just going straight row, coming back, make a straight row. Yeah.
Right, and because of that, they're able to use, like every square inch of dirt, because they can get them exactly as close, whereas if you're just kind of eyeballing it, you might move over a little too much, and now you got a little extra dirt between them, and when that all adds up, that could be, like 10 extra rows of corn.
Exactly.
So talking 1,000-acre field, 10 extra rows is a shit ton extra food.
Exactly. Well, yeah. Here the farmers, they don't grow corn anymore for food. They're all ethanol plants. They see giant signs everywhere. Yeah, Monsanto ethanol plant. Monsanto ethanol. In fact, the guy right down the road, that's what he grows corn now for. Monsanto ethanol.
Yeah, and I know that's being a bigger thing, but corn syrup is still our number one biggest freaking sweetener in food or whatever. So
yep,
there's definitely a lot of corn still being grown for food. Whether it's just not as much of just like eating an ear of corn, but it's in just about everything.
Of course, yeah, it isn't.
Bite my toe, little fuck. I know my feet smell, but you shouldn't have jumped up right next to them. That's your fault. You made that choice. Anyways. So, yeah, I'm excited. I know I've talked about it a bunch these past few days since I ordered it, but I'm getting a 17 HMR, a little bolt action.
Nice. My brother, the lucky little bastard, he got the semi-auto one. I was like, how in the hell did you find one? He said, I'm not telling you. I was like, you little... Oh.
Yeah, Cabela's had them on sale.
I think that's where we got them.
Yeah. This weekend, they were doing, I think it was like 20% off. And then there's also, it's from Marlin. Marlin has a $50 mail-in rebate. So when you add all that up, it was like, fuck, it's going to be like $180.
Yeah. That's one thing I need to add to the collection, 17 HMR. I physically do not have one. I shot my brothers lots of times, but
I've never shot one. I kind of got spur of the moment. I was in the mood for buying a gun. I didn't know what I wanted. I enlisted Gun Channel's help, and they all suggested some stuff, and I had a few options. And then I was hanging out with my buddy, and he said that he had just picked one up. Same thing, actually, same one.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, I think they're still on sale. So I looked it up, and they were still on sale. And then there was also, just for the weekend, that extra sale. So I think I got mine even less than his. But now they didn't have them in stock, so I had to order it off their website and have it shipped to the store, and then I'll just pick it up from the store. But it's like, fuck, dude, I ordered it Friday night. It says 5 to 8 days. Well, the counter doesn't really start till today, so it's either going to be in by Friday or like sometime next week, like next Wednesday.
Yeah, waiting game.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm trying to make a deal with Buds on for a couple of firearms. They have a couple of high power clones I'm interested in, and I sent them pics and info for a couple of Yugos that I have, Yugoslavian pistols, and they're like, "Oh, okay, well, we'll get back to you in 48 hours." So I was like, "Oh, I got to play the waiting game."
Oh, but I don't know. So at least I'll pick that up at least by sometime next week, and then I'm going up north that following weekend with a couple of my buddies. We're gonna blast the shit out of some stuff.
Oh yeah, you'll like it. Yeah.
I was loading up my range bag last night because when I went to the range on Friday, we went to the indoor range, and normally my range bag has like the bare minimums. Like it has a couple AR mags, a couple AK mags. It's got my 9mm mags, and then like a few boxes of each caliber. So absolute worst case scenario, as long as I have that bag, like I can at least shoot 100 rounds of something, and I have some targets, and like I'm good. Now I normally obviously will supplement that with something. Well, anyways, on Friday I decided to take all that extra stuff out and just fill it up with 9mm because that's all I was going to be shooting, which is my handgun. And so anyway, so then last night I was like, I'm going to set that up, back to how it should be. And as I was doing that, I was like, I better get my other bag that I carry just ammo in. Like, let's get that all set up. So I start loading that up, and it didn't look like very much ammo. So I just had to keep grabbing boxes off the shelf and keep putting it in the bag. And then when the bag got too heavy, I pulled out a backpack that I used to carry targets in, and I just put some extra ammo in that and filled that up and was like, it doesn't quite seem like enough, but oh well.
Yep.
My
range back out.
I say my buddy came over, and he started talking. He's like, "Damn, like how much are you bringing up?" I'm like, you know what? I don't know. Let's count it. So I ended up unpacking all of it and then repacking it. I was like, oh, I got 800 rounds of 223 and whatever. What was it? Something 700 and something rounds of 7.62. I forget how much 9 I had. 600 or 700 rounds of 9. I don't know. It's under 1,000 of each, but still, it was quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But then I calculated out, and it's like, damn, it's like about $500 worth of ammo.
Exactly.
So I'm like, if we shoot this entire bag up over the weekend, it's gonna be an expensive weekend.
Yeah.
I'm fully expecting to bring like at least half of it back, to be honest, because my other buddies, they're bringing their stuff up and they'll have their ammo, so it's like it's not like it's gonna be just shooting mine. I'll shoot my guns for a little bit, shoot their guns for a little bit, and we'll all trade. And we're all close enough. It's not like anyone's gonna keep track. Like, hey, you shot 10 more of my bullets, so you owe me $1. Like, no one gives a shit.
But yeah, I used to hang out with a guy like that. He was like, "Oh, you shot 10 of my 380 and 16 of my 9mm and 8 of my 38. So I'm going to take some of yours." I'm like, "You douchebag."
Now, and to be fair, I do normally just shoot my stuff, especially if they got the same, if they have something that I have. Like when I shoot my buddy's AR, I might as well just pick up like my box of ammo and load up a mag and stick it in his AR or whatever. But if it's something I don't have, well then they'll shoot that, or I'll shoot, like my buddy's got a 38 revolver. So obviously I'm going to have to use his ammo because I don't have any 38 unless I went to the store for it. But we try and be fair. It's like I said, I'm not going to super keep track, but if I shoot his gun a few times, well then go ahead and shoot my 9 a few times. There, we're even.
Exactly.
It's close enough.
Exactly. That's what I say. I said, look, yeah, you shot my old 303 Enfield. You've put 3 magazines through it, 10 rounds a pop. That's 30 rounds to 303. They ain't cheap. They're like $40 to $60 a box. So if you want to do it that way, fine, we'll do it that way.
Right. Well, and especially for something that, like you said, that isn't cheap at all, then but also I would shoot and be like, hey man, you want me to toss you $20 or whatever, like I'll at least offer. Most times they'll say no, and then it's like, all right, well that's cool. Well, here, shoot a few rounds of my stuff then, whatever.
Exactly. Big issue from his wife. He's my cousin's husband, and my cousin is such a cheapskate. Yeah, that's just the way she is. That's the way she always will be.
I mean, and here's the thing: there are times to be like that. Like that's.
Oh yeah.
And it's not necessarily gun related, but back in high school, there was like my group of friends. There was like 4 of us, and basically, whenever we'd go out, like run to Taco Bell or something, it's like, hey, does anyone want something? Yeah, bring me back this, bring me back that, blah blah, whatever. And so one day I'd be buying food for 4 guys, 4 high school kids worth of food. That's a decent Taco Bell expense. But I know next week someone's going to bring me a couple of tacos. So it's like, it'll come back. And there was one friend of the group who at best would pay for his own stuff. Never paid for anyone else's. And half the time someone else paid for him. And it got to the point where it's like, you know what, dude? Like, I'm a 16-year-old kid. Like, it's not like I'm rolling in money. I can't be dropping $20 on your food every week. Like, I barely have the $20 for my food every week. So then for that, then it'd be like, yeah, dude, like I'll pick you up something. Do you have money? And then I'd give the other 2 people their stuff and not ask about it. And then I'd give him his stuff and be like, all right, you owe me $3.
Yep.
But that was earned. I mean, maybe I was being a jerk, but it was earned. He proved that he'll never pay you back if you don't force it. Where the other ones would just show up with something, be like, here you go, since you bought me shit last week, here's some stuff this week for free.
Oh yeah, I'm the guy that always brings the pizza. I said, I'll just bring the pizza. I could get it for cost. Never mind, I'll bring it. Football parties, hockey parties, I'll just bring 3 pies. Tell the boss, hey, here's $8 for the 3 pies I'm making. That's fine. There you go.
Oh yeah, well that was like the one guy, I mentioned a little bit ago. Like he worked at a pizza place, and he had been there like since high school. He worked there, I don't know, like 7 or 8 years or something. I mean, basically enough so it was basically the owner and then him. Like the owner trusted him with everything. And he was working on his house, and I was on afternoon shift at the time, and I was coming over and helping him. But so we'd be sitting there like hanging drywall at like 2:00 in the morning. So the owner said, hey, I know, you guys are working on the house. If you ever want to come up in the middle of the night and make yourself a pizza, like knock yourself out. I don't care. So we used to go up there in the middle of the night and like make food and then take it back to his house, eat it, and go back to work.
Oh yeah, I did that lots of times. Yeah, I used to have the keys to the old pizza shop I used to manage. It's like, hey, I don't care if you may want to make something in the middle of the night. Go right ahead, make it. Just clean up. Okay, all right, we'll do.
Yeah, well, and shit, half the time, because on Friday nights we used to always have a bonfire at his house. And I got off like an hour earlier than he did. So I'd get out of work, I'd head over to his place, and it was only like him and the delivery driver. And they got to do all, the normal close-up shit. Well, if the delivery driver was out on delivery, I'd start sweeping and mopping. I'd start doing dishes. I'd start prepping for the next day. Like I pretty much worked there, even though I never worked there. And the reason I did that, it was selfish, is because he can't leave until all that stuff's done. So the sooner, like if they can lock the door and then walk out the back door because everything else is already all done, then that benefits me because I get to start partying earlier.
Yep, exactly. That's why the one owner, he used to bring his old lady in all the time. She used to be sweeping and mopping, and that's what they used to do. He used to get done early, so they used to go out. I was like, yeah, there you go. Hey, if you want to bring her in, she wants to work. More power to her. And that's what she said. She said, I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for him so he could get off early. It's like, hey, that works. Hey, whatever. I don't care. Hey, whatever. Works for me as long as I don't have to do it.
Nope. I mean, shit, the one dude I had to train how to mop. This kid, he was one of these guys, like, super smart in school, but just doesn't really get the real world. And, like, the way he was mopping, he would, like, mop himself into a corner, then walk across the thing. Or he would, like, just splash down, like, a shit ton of water and, like, just make a bigger mess than not. Like, I'm like, dude, do you want me to teach you how to use a mop? I mean, it's not complicated, but you're obviously not doing it right.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I know. We have a guy there who says, oh, I was in the Army. I've mopped plenty of floors. I said, obviously, Vince, you don't know how to mop because each time you mop, there's a swamp. I said, I think I just saw a fish swim by. I was like, in fact, he was there last night. I was like, I got to remop these floors because that's what Frank, the owner, said. He said, do me a huge favor. Remop Vince's floors. I said, do it every Sunday, Frank. No problem. I got it. Mm. And he said, we have to train Vince on the mop. I said, yeah, I did. I showed him how to mop, wet mop, dry mop. And he said he was in the Army. He mopped plenty of floors. Maybe he was in the Salvation Army. I don't know.
Yeah, it was funny because, and not even just the technical of like mopping, but just like for that particular store layout and like the order that they close stuff. It's like, why are you mopping the part right in front of the freezer when you know someone else is going to be walking by in 2 seconds with a bunch of shit to go put back in the freezer?
Oh, exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, so do that part after, because then no one goes in that back part. So like, do the front part first, and then or like you do the front when there's a customer standing there. It's like, are you fucking retarded? The customer's now got to walk through your shit to get to the door. Mm-hmm. Like, don't do the lobby until there's no one there. Just stupid shit.
Yeah, it's like the one waitress, she started vacuuming the floor with the customers are still there. I'm like, whoa, Stephanie, chill out. Start on the other side where there's no customers and then work your way. It's like, well, I want him to leave. He said, you can't push people out of here. You can't.
Well, sometimes you can.
Yeah, Frank does. Yeah, when Frank wants him to leave, it's like 12:30. It's a dead bar night. He just kicks them all out. Last call, go. Bye. Here we go. As Frank says, I want to get the hell home and get to bed because he usually is the owner that goes and gets all the produce orders Monday morning. And yeah, I was like, oh, I kind of feel sorry for you, Frank. He's like my dad's age, like 69, still waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, go down the Strip District of Pittsburgh to get produce.
But anyways, that was a really roundabout way of saying that, I normally share ammo with people.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
Although I do see Robbie out there in the chat saying like, dude, don't ask me, I ain't giving you shit and all that.
Exactly.
Hey,
that too, yeah.
That's fine, It's whatever.
That's it. Or else I'll give them some cheap stuff. Someone says, "Hey, can I shoot your gun?" I have a lot of like Wolf and Tula. I just give them 10 rounds of that.
All you cheap bastards!
Hey, I'm
give
just
people ammo.
I ain't no rich man like you.
What, you mean you don't give people hollow points just to shoot for fun?
Hell no. Now, maybe PPU, if it's on sale, I'll give them that.
Ass, gas, or brass, nobody rides for free.
Exactly right.
So, yeah, I'm excited to go up north. It's gonna be fun. Probably do a little squirrel hunting, and then the rest will be just blasting into the berm.
Yep.
And I am bringing my hunting rifle up. I was gonna not just kind of save space and wait, because I know my buddy's gonna ride up with me. So it's like once I load up all my shit and then I load up his freaking however many guns he has, it's like, damn, dude, we're going to be rolling with a lot of firepower.
Exactly.
So one less rifle would be nice, but Daniel brought up a decent point of, you should probably shoot it, make sure it's still sighted in. I have all confidence that it will be, but just in case, I'll at least blast off a few rounds, make sure I'm still where I want to be. And I could use more trigger time on it. I mean, it's a Ruger American 30-06. I got it last year, but I ended up not going hunting last year because I was out of town for work. So I've probably only put, I don't know, maybe 50 rounds through it. Like I'm still getting used to it and everything. So a few extra rounds through it wouldn't hurt me.
Yeah, that's what my brother uses. That Ruger American 30-06. He didn't go last year, but 2 years ago, the only time he shot it was whenever he got his deer. Yeah, he didn't even sight it in. He just says, I have no idea. I'll just try it with luck.
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I like to make sure, because I want, you got to make sure you're going to get a good shot on them. That nothing bugs me more than hearing the stories of the buck that got away because someone wounded it and it ran for 3 miles and they couldn't find it and all that shit. It just, it bugs me. I mean, I know, I guess it happens, but it's the one thing I'm very respectful of hunting of, I do it to eat. Not that I have to do it to eat, but I at least take some pride in that. I butcher it up myself and then I eat it. And it helps sustain me through the year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the only time I've ever lost a deer is in archery season. Used a crossbow, shot it, and that happened twice, and just could not find it. I guess assumed that's somebody, and I found one time I know someone else got it because I saw the gut pile. The second time, could not pick up the blood trail. I was like, well, someone will get it. Actually, that's
I don't care about the animal. It's like whatever.
Exactly.
If I can't find it, that just means I don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, don't have to gut it, don't have to skin it, don't have to do anything with it. Just leave it there. Fuck it.
Yeah, pretty much. Someone else will.
Yeah.
Well, you just go to those fancy,
or I just fed a bear for all I know.
Where you have a person caddying your guns out for you.
Well, when I go hunting, I'm riding on an elephant with several Indian folks, like reloading my guns for me, and telling me where to go.
Yeah, that's the only way to go.
You're just point and click, and then something happens, and it shows up in your freezer somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, someone else will deal with that for me.
What movie is that from? Where the guy like shoots the bird, and he's like, "Oh, damn, I missed." No, you didn't, sir.
I'm not sure. Not
Was that The President with Robin Williams?
I have no idea. So I just don't remember where it's from, but I remember a movie like that.
That movie where Robin Williams became the president for like a week.
I don't think I ever saw that. That sounds pretty crazy.
It was really shitty, but I think that scene was
early in his career, because that seems like a goofy thing he would do early in his career.
No, it was like late in his career.
Yeah.
Oh.
Basically, Robin Williams plays like a comedian who makes a joke, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to run for president. And then he throws in for third party. Then there's like a computing error that makes it so that like all the booths accidentally vote for him.
Nice. So you're saying there is a chance for Gary Johnson?
Yeah, if fucking shenanigans and hijinks are afoot, yes, there's a chance.
All right, that's good enough for me.
But yeah, then he like gets into the White House. He's like, haha, I'm the first funny president. Watch as I go into Congress wearing the fucking Washington, D.C. clothing, like George Washington clothing.
Like powdered wig and all that shit?
Yeah, he has like a powdered wig and all that shit. And he goes into Congress and he's like, hear ye, I'm the president now, motherfuckers. Or something Robin Williams would say.
I feel like I've watched this movie now just from Flippy's summary there.
Well, I mean, I think you did watch the movie because I think that's the fucking scene in it you just described where he's like, he shoots at something. He's like, well, I missed. And then like the Secret Service guy like fucking pops it. He's like, nope. No, you did not.
And say that's my dad did a thing, speaking of kind of hunt club kind of things. It was, a business thing, kind of just like people would take someone out for like a golf outing, but this was like a hunting thing. And what the hell were they shooting? some type of bird. I don't know, quail or something. Anyways, it's like you kind of team up or whatever and go out throughout this property, and then they like release the birds from like this middle part, and they all kind of fly out like from the woods out into the field that's behind you. And so you catch them like as they're trying to get into the field. And then basically like you shoot all of them. Well, then the people that work there are the ones that clean them and everything. So then like after the shooting, they go back in, they have dinner and drinks and all that kind of stuff. And then on the way out, there's just a bunch of like freezer packs and people can kind of grab as much as they want, you know? So some people are like, I'll take a couple home, and other people are like, well, I shot this many, so I'm taking that many. But I thought that was kind of neat in a business environment because it's geared towards like novice. Like, okay, you know how to not shoot someone in the face. Cool. There you go. We'll do everything else for you.
Dude, that sounds like 100% what I'm about. I'm absolutely about just rolling up with my gun, just like shooting something, going the fuck off to the bar. And then, like, you know, they afterwards hand me, like, this is what you shot. Here's the fucking packages of food from it. Have a good day.
Yep. Well, I'm sure you could find something like that. I mean, I'm sure like the people that hosted it are probably members of the club or something, and then, like I said, they invite all their like customers and stuff out.
Yeah, the only problem is last time I went hunting, fucking the world got mad at me. They're like, you shot Cecil, the lion. Fuck the lion.
Oh, I know we just talked about that the other day, so I don't want to get all back into it, but yep.
Oh, what? Are you pro Cecil or anti Cecil?
I wouldn't say either way. I would say this because I don't have a problem with hunting, like pretty much at all. There are certain types that I don't personally think I would enjoy, so I won't do it, but whatever. I don't care if you do it. The only thing is that the facts of the case are still the guides that worked down there broke the rules by going onto the game preserve and then dragging the dead animal out, and then he followed it and then they shot it or whatever. And so it's not that I'm against it because they shot a famous lion or whatever. I'm against it because the people that he paid to go on this hunt were doing like I guess it'd be illegal hunting, you know, like they broke the rules of the game preserve. If they had just put a dead animal on their own property and sat around and waited for something to wander over, okay, fine. But they went onto a protected area and lured it out of that protected area so they could shoot it.
Yeah, but it wasn't the white dude's fault. Because he didn't know. He was just like, he paid some people to take him to go shoot a lion.
And did I ever say it was his fault? That's...
No, I'm just saying because the media was all like, holy shit, this dentist is like a cold-hearted, murderous psychopath. It's like, what? He paid to go shoot a fucking lion.
Right.
You guys need to chill the fuck out.
And that economy down there benefited greatly from Americans coming over and spending a ridiculous amount of money to go hunting.
Yeah, to go shoot a lion. If anything, those are the people. Blame the poor people, not the wealthy dude who just wanted to shoot a lion. It's the dirty poor ones who fucking broke into a game reserve and like set up a lion to get shot.
Well, my guess is the tour guides probably aren't necessarily poor. They're probably some of the wealthier ones in that country because of that. Because when they make 10 grand from a person coming over to do that, that's more than like most of the country makes in a year. So
yeah, but I can't say, yo, don't blame Whitey. It wasn't Whitey's fault. It was absolutely like the black people's fault. Because then I'll get labeled a racist. So I'm just going to blame the poor, like Bernie Sanders.
Well, I'm just saying that those guides are probably not the poor either. So why not just use the words that most accurately describe the situation and say the hunting guides broke the rule and it's not necessarily the hunter's fault. Now, whether he should have known they were breaking the rules or not, I mean, you could maybe
How
make
the
a
fuck
case.
would he know?
Well, if you're going to go do something, you should probably look up what's allowed.
He's not
and what's
totally retarded, right? Like he was a dentist, right? He should know, like, hey,
Yeah,
we're
but
kind of
this
close
is
to
the
that
thing,
game
though.
preserve, right? We should have turned right when we turned left.
All right, for one, there's not like giant signs they were saying this is a game preserve. They clearly went through a back way that didn't have any fucking signage. Secondly,
You know that's horseshit. Come on. When you
no,
get
I
your
don't know
tag
it's
for your
horseshit.
deer each or your elk each year or whatever, you know what
Dude,
like
you're-
unit
okay,
you're
have
in
you
the
ever-
state, right? Like
Have
you don't
ever
like
gone? Hold on.
randomly end up in the wrong unit when you're hunting, do you?
Yeah, but the thing, plenty of people do. Secondly, there's a difference between hunting game over here and hunting big game across the world. There is a different set of like standards, and there's a different thing. When you hire out a guide to take you hunting, typically that guide is trustworthy enough to not fucking lead you into the middle of a game preserve.
Right, and that's what I would say as well, is that it is reasonable to assume the guy that does this for a living would be, on the up and up and do everything legally.
What if it's like the hostel of game hunting? You're like, sure, we can find you anything you want. A giraffe, a zebra, a big old lion. You ever see the movie Hostel? You know how the rich people pay to like torture poor people?
Mhm.
Yeah. That's what it is. That's what's going on over there.
I would say I am anti-torturing people for money. I'm just going to go out on a limb and make that statement.
I don't care. It's not my problem if it's in another country. Like, if our wealthy white people or black people or just wealthy people in general want to go over to other countries and pay a group to, like, torture, like, the poor, it's not my concern, as long as it's happening in another country. It doesn't affect me.
And that's where I would disagree with you. Because I think that, all humans are at least humans.
No, they're not. You're telling me that right now, the Middle Easterners who are chopping fucking cunts off and, like, throwing gay people off of buildings, you're saying they're people. They're not people. They're dirty fucking animals.
I would say they are humans. They are awful, disgusting humans that deserve to be attacked. But yeah, I would still say that they're humans.
I would say if it acts like an animal, it's an animal. It should be treated like an animal. Like, if I'm acting like an asshole, I'm most likely
you
an
are.
asshole. I should be treated like an asshole. It's the same thing. If you're not acting like a fucking person and you're being an animal, you're like acting like an animal, you get treated like an animal. We'll put you in a fucking zoo. We'll give you like a little fucking black baby. Then we're gonna blow your brains out. And then the internet's gonna make memes about it for like years to come.
No one's going to go to the zoo to see these people. These animals.
I would. I'd go to the zoo.
I think
I would go to the zoo,
irony of this
especially
situation is that
especially
Flippy
just to
by
throw
his
peanuts at him.
his own conditions would need to be the one in the zoo. I think that's the irony here.
How would I be the one in the zoo? I'm acting like a person. I'm not fucking stoning gay people because they like to put it in the wrong place.
Yeah, but you're acting like a terrible person by acting like those people are beneath you when clearly
They
they're
are.
not.
No,
They're not.
clearly
They're not.
they are beneath
Have you
me.
ever read Heart of Darkness? Have you ever read A Heart of Darkness?
No, I saw the movie. I got bored. It doesn't matter. They are
Jesus.
actually beneath me. That's the thing. We have this stupid culture now where like everyone is equal. Everyone is like a valuable member of society.
That's not what we're saying at all, Flips.
You're saying they're still people. People are valuable members of society. They're not valuable members of society. Thus, they're not people. Thus, they should be treated like animals. If you're not a person, you're an animal.
Also,
or a
like,
tree.
my dog
Weird
has a seat on the
philosophy.
damn couch, so I don't know how you treat your animals, Flippy. That's all.
I mean, they're animals. They fucking eat from a bowl. They wear collars, and occasionally they get walked around the neighborhood. They also get yelled at for shitting all over my house.
Do these jihadi guys do that? Do they eat from a bowl?
No, they should.
I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying they're not the greatest people or the greatest humans, but you're like drawing a philosophical, ideological line with where you call technically someone that's human an animal. When
Well, if we really want to
reality,
get
they're all
semantics
humans.
wise, humans are animals.
That's
We
I
are
already said that
living
before.
beings.
when
Yeah.
everybody was talking.
But at the same time, like that's, and I do want to just defend something that I can't believe I'm saying this, that Flippy said, is that yes, they are beneath Flippy. I don't think that he is equal to them. They are definitely much more of an asshole.
No,
than
but
he
they're
is.
not subhuman. That's the point.
Are subhuman.
Humans
you-
are
if
able to
you
do terrible shit. If I put you in some position, you do terrible shit too, Flippy. They're not magically different than you. There's nothing fundamentally
no,
different
people are
between them
inherent-
and you.
people
They just
are
are doing terrible
inherently-
shit, but that doesn't mean you're immune from the ability to do terrible shit too.
Yes, but if I start doing terrible shit, then I become an animal and should be treated like such. Point being, people aren't inherently good. They're kind of like more on the side of jealous, fucking whatever gets them what they want assholes. But based off of our standings in society, it causes us to strive to do what will get us what we want in the society that we are a part of. So,
But it's only the existence of society that causes that, Flippy. Go
yes,
read
and
books
our
once in a while.
society,
Go read some philosophy. Colonel Kurtz
I
was a
understand
good
how
man
society
until he
works,
went
and I'm
without
saying-
society.
And I'm saying our society is better than their society. Our society is above their society. They need to fucking get in line or they need to get gone. We
It's
didn't
like arguing
didn't
with
fucking
Yankee.
we didn't fucking sit at the table with Nazis and be like, yo, you fucking Nazi crazy assholes.
No one's
we're gonna-
saying that. No one's saying that.
Let's
No one's
Treat them
saying we like these
I'm
people
saying-
or we want to treat them softly, but it doesn't mean they're not human. It just means that they're pieces of shit. And hey, sometimes piece of shit needs to get gotten rid of. I'm all for getting rid of the pieces of shit, especially ones that stone people and behead people and all that. But they're still humans,
can't-
and you're no better than them in terms of being any more human or less human or whatever the hell. You can still do terrible shit too. I mean,
yeah, but I don't.
I mean, shit. Calling people animals is an insult to the fucking animals, right? Like that
That's
doesn't.
true.
Yep.
You can't
Eh.
only call and you can't only pick the good people of the world and call them human, and then the rest they're still human. They're just shitty humans.
No, you can 100% call the good people of the world humans and then the people who aren't good and below them animals.
I don't know about that.
And plus, on top of this, you're also forgetting the fundamental fact that if we call them humans and we act like they're people, it makes it harder for us to systematically slaughter them and make sure they no longer exist on this earth.
And that all depends on your outlook or how you view it.
No, that's just how it is.
Right, 'cause-
People have a harder time killing other people when they see them as people.
And with Flippy's
Yeah.
final solution,
people.
I'm just gonna click on him and go, oh, no, never mind. Where's the mute button? There we go. No more Flippy's final solution.
And I'm just
Jesus
going to click the
Christ.
undo button, and then I'm just going to, like, boop, 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 boop. I'll go down to your level of childishness. That's cool.
Touche.
Motherfucker, I have no issue rolling around in the mud.
Well, yeah, that's because, you know, you are less human than people who don't like rolling around in the mud.
Nah, I'm probably the most human.
We've created a basically society that revolves around imprisoning ourselves in the consumer society. So I wouldn't exactly call that like the peak of humanity, of greatness we can accomplish, or we could have.
Right, but how would we progress even farther into greatness? With stoning homos
I don't know. I'm not
and chopping the cunts off of women.
going with their ideals. There's like a step backwards. Like go like a fucking
We as Americans are the greatest society on Earth and
Oh, I
will ever
understand.
be on Earth.
I got that.
We can either progress and become even
could have
better.
we could have been better if we didn't get brainwashed into becoming such a consumer society.
Nah, we're
Nothing
fine.
wrong with
Builders.
consuming things.
More builders and not. I mean, we can buy things is fine, but to not build it not build anything is horrible. To be only buying and not building.
Oh, so you're talking like specifically America then when you said society.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I think we do need more manufacturing because if you look at the country like a household, the household can't survive if like the mom and dad sell stuff to the kids and the kids sell stuff to each other. It doesn't really matter because it's still the same amount of stuff. The only way to bring things into the household is to sell stuff to your neighbor so you have money to go buy food or whatever, or grow the food yourself. Like either you make it yourself or you make something that you can give to someone else in exchange for something that you want. And countries are no different. So if we import way more shit than we export, eventually we're all just going to be trading amongst ourselves, but never get better as a whole.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah, but that's beyond the point. Think how
What's
great
that?
and righteous our society will be when we go put our like giant ass boots up the ass of like the Middle East.
that's not going to happen. It's like the war
No,
on drugs.
it's not
man.
going to happen.
The
Like
war on
legit.
terror, the war on terror, the war on drugs.
Well, that's the thing.
Pretty
It was
soon they're going to wage a war on guns, and it's going to be never ending.
well, that's the thing. They mislabeled the war. Like, let's look at World War II, the war on the Nazis. We had a very clear and present enemy with a way of destroying them and getting rid of them from the face of the earth. We don't have that with drugs. We don't have that with terror, because terror is too broad of a term. Drugs is too broad of a term.
Right.
We need to single it out, like the war on the Muslims. Or the war on fucking crack cocaine.
The war on 1 billion people.
Yeah. I mean, how many Nazis were there back in the day? A lot of them.
Not a
We warred the shit out of them. Now there isn't, like, hardly a handful.
So you're also mislabeling all Muslims for, bad guy assholes.
No, but they're
Because there's
bad guy
quite
assholes.
a few. There are quite a few of them that, by their actions, prove they're just normal, regular people. Just like Christians don't go around doing the Crusades anymore because they grew past that. There are plenty of Muslims
Okay,
that
let's
don't
go
go around
back.
killing people.
Hold on, let's go back in history since you mentioned the Crusades, and I love it when people do that. The Crusades were a war that were fought originally over the fact that the Turkish Empire was taking more land and was progressing up into Christendom Europe. And the Catholic Church was very specifically asked for help in stopping the Turkish advance to ensure that Turkey did not take over Europe. And that is where the Crusades came from. It wasn't some self-righteous act where people are like, I need to do this because whatever. It was very specifically a targeted thing that was asked for help. It's no different than when the fucking, like, Mongols were at the walls of China and the Chinese were like, well, we need to fucking build up this thing. Or when the fucking Japs were attacking the Koreans and the Koreans were like, yo, China, fucking help us because if we don't stop the Japs advance, they're going to be in fucking China. But people like to play off the Crusades as like this unrighteous, evil fucking thing done by the lands of Christendom to make sure that the poor God-fearing Muslims got like murdered by the thousands, which wasn't actually the thing.
Robbie says the Crusades were a direct response to the Caliphate. I don't know nothing about the Crusades, so I don't bring them up.
That's the whole point, though.
That's pretty much right, yeah.
So when people say, oh, the Crusades, they're typically idiots who don't understand history or what actually happened. And they're using it as like, the Muslims are just nowadays, we don't blame the Christians for the Crusades. It's like, well, there was a direct response to what they were doing. So, yeah, there's nothing wrong with the fucking Crusades, other than the fact that early Germany got a little overzealous and murdered a bunch of Jews on the way down to the fucking Middle East. That was kind of iffy. But
Germans will be Germans.
yeah, pretty much.
Exactly.
My only point is because the Crusades, the way they got all the people to sign up was religiously based, and they did feel that they were doing the right things in the eyes of God.
They were doing the right thing though,
But
in the eyes of Europe.
whatever.
Because
So anyway,
that
so the
didn't
point,
happen-
the only reason I bring that up is the point is you can't you wouldn't look at a Christian now and be like, hey, because your book says kill people different than you, you're a monster. And if the
Actually,
guy's
it says love people different than you and help them learn the
except
right
for
way.
the parts where it says to kill everyone. But anyway, so
Except for where part where it says Jesus came to fulfill the law but not do away with. And except for the parts where it talks about how it's now open to everyone and how everyone is how there is no one who is irredeemable in the eyes of God. Which if you want, I'll give you a
so then
scripture
we
by
shouldn't
scripture
kill
thing.
all the Muslims because they're totally fine and we should be happy with them.
Well, I mean, then should we have killed all the fucking, I don't know, the Nazis? Because this is the point I'm making. The Muslims are no different than the Nazis. They're hiding behind a religious ideal that's allowing them to spread and cause, like the Muslim thing itself, it isn't so much a religion. It's more of like, it's like capitalism, basically. It's an ideal that's going to try to spread and to control everything. But it's hiding behind a religious aspect of it. Like there's laws, rules, and regulations on how to govern through Sharia law. Sharia law is its own fucking thing that was created so that the Muslims who are in control can easily divvy up different areas, hold people against each other, and control based off of their whole ideology. People get hung up nowadays by saying, oh, the Muslims is just a religion of peace. They're just religious fanatics or whatever. It's not that simple. This is them doing their world government. This is them trying to do a one world government claiming it's a religion.
Yeah. You ever
Well,
see the video where they're breeding like 8 times more than anybody else by 2027? The whole world will be like predominantly Muslim.
My only point is just that not all of them are bad, and that many of them have assimilated into our regular culture. And so to be able to just label all of them as the same thing is completely inaccurate and it's wrong.
Well,
It isn't wrong. It's
I think
100% what we
Flippy's
need to do.
saying- Listen, I think what Flippy's saying is like every British redcoat soldier probably wasn't an asshole or a bad guy or even did anything.
Yeah, but they
wrong
were
in his
fighting
life.
us. They were fighting us. I'll give you that. The redcoats were all fighting us, so I'm guessing that's kind of where you were going. My point is not all the Muslims are fighting us. There's
The
groups
Muslims-
of them that are that we should take
But
care
their
of.
Their ideals
ideal is
directly
fighting
conflict
us.
with ours. They
But
are
there
at war with
and
us.
I'm saying there are plenty of them that have, twisted their ideals enough that they can perfectly live in society and they don't go stone gay people and they don't mutilate
They can't,
people and
though.
they don't have child wives and all that stuff. They live just like me or you. And they
Okay,
ignore half their book and that's how they sleep at night. But that's what they do.
they don't. That's the thing, though. Ask yourself a few questions before you go off on this. Ask yourself, where are all of the leftist Muslims? Because basically, the Muslims themselves are very much, in an ideology standpoint, Republican. They're rolling with the Democratic side right now because they feel like that'll work for their cause of getting a one world Muslim-ruled government. But they don't. They're very butch people when it comes to their ideology. If you try to leave the Muslim religion, you are dead to them. And that's the most, I'm going to say progressive because...
That's bullshit, Flippy. That's
It's not
fucking
bullshit.
because Christians in America do the same goddamn thing. Oh,
No,
we can't let gays
they
get married.
fucking don't.
They're doing the same fucking thing, but because it's Christians in America and you're Christian, you don't give a fuck.
No, I'm not...
That's bullshit, Flippy.
It's not
That's bullshit.
All right, fucking... I don't know what you want from me. Suck my dick? Nah, listen. It's not bullshit. Straight up, the fucking thing is you can't leave that fucking religion. They will fucking kill you if you leave that religion. It's an instant death penalty.
In certain countries, yeah.
Under Sharia law, which is something they've been trying to put over here. There was a group of them that almost got Sharia law passed in fucking Texas last year. It barely failed by a few votes. They're pushing for their fucking agenda. But we're too busy trying to be fucking apologists and saying, oh no, they're just another fucking religion, and we're going to fucking get like consumed by this tsunami of fucking bad shit they're bringing.
That's so fucking ridiculous. And
it's not ridiculous. It's like 100% true.
Know it. There's plenty of people in the world who aren't a Middle Eastern Muslim person. If you go to Bosnia, they're Muslim there. They're white people though, and they have overlaid that religion on a different base culture, and the culture there is different. Just because the Middle Eastern, like, goat herder, whatever, like, that base culture that Islam started with and overlaid, doesn't mean that religion and that book is the particular problem. Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of, like, people over there that want that, but that's not because of they're Muslims. That's because of the culture and a whole bunch of other things fucking combined. There's a lot of people in this world who are fucking Muslim. There's, like, it's going to be the world's, like he just said, it's going to be the world's biggest religion in the next 15 years.
Yeah, and that's
right?
Why they're designed.
Go to like Thailand, or go to like the Philippines, or go to Bosnia or Eastern.
Has a huge Muslim population.
Shit like that. Like there's tons of places where people are Muslim, and they're not trying to come and fly planes into our goddamn buildings and blow us up with fucking pressure cookers.
But they're
the point is for them to fall in line when the time comes. Indonesia and places with huge Muslim populations like that have hardly any radicalized people, Bosnia, Indonesia, and stuff like that.
I'm not saying there's not radicals, and I'm not saying there's not radicals everywhere, but there's a lot of not radical people who are just people like you and me who go to fucking mosque on Saturday or Sunday.
Let me explain something to you. Are you aware of? Okay, are you aware of the frog experiment? The frog in the boiling pot. Experiment?
Yeah, I get it.
It's the same fucking thing.
That's
if they dilute
their religion, it doesn't drive yours. Come on.
If they dilute the fucking public opinion on themselves by having groups that are like, oh, we're peaceful, we're not doing anything, but then just keep like fucking amping it up, and then still keep going. Well, no, we're still peaceful. It's not all of us, and it still keeps going.
You're ridiculous.
Then we're going to be.
You know, there are plenty of people trying to institute Christian-based laws in this country, and that's not any better than people trying to come over here and institute Sharia law.
The difference is Christian-based laws
not everybody who's
a
a Muslim is a terrorist or a terrorist sympathizer, right? I agree. I don't want people from Syria coming over here because I can't tell a Syrian terrorist from a not Syrian terrorist. That doesn't mean everyone who goes to church at a mosque instead of a church is a Muslim terrorist and they should get exterminated, Flippy. That's horse shit. And it's coming out your mouth and your breath fucking stinks.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry that my breath stinks. And I'm sorry that the truth is bitter and something hard to take. But whatever. The thing being
the truth is that the world isn't black and white. And you're not just going to draw a line in the sand and be like, Muslims and us. What about the American Muslims? I mean, come on.
The American Muslims who fucking stabbed up like a bunch of people this weekend. The American Muslims who fucking tried to make bombs to blow up New York during the running thing.
And Timothy McVeigh blew up the fucking Oklahoma City building. But I don't think that you're saying that, like, well, you know, all those white Southerners were lying in the sand, us and them, because of Timothy McVeigh. People do stupid shit, evil shit all the time for different reasons.
I'm saying we're at war with an ideology that is being hidden behind a religious aspect of it. This is no different than fucking communism.
So it is
Muslims are no different than communists.
The religious aspect. So it's not the actual religious aspect of them being Muslims. It's you're at war with something else that's using that as a cover. So then you admit it. And not all Muslims are the problem.
You're not hearing me out.
I think he already said that.
I've said it several times. I'm saying the way the Muslim thing works is it's essentially like communism. Except for, this is like if communism had like its own religious aspect to it, we aren't fighting communism now. It's like, oh no, you can't fight us communists because this is the religious beliefs we have and you're religiously persecuting us. It's not the same thing. We're at war with an ideology that is against us.
Like murder's part of your religion, so murder's okay. Of course you can't do that. But you're not at war with a religion. You're at
We-
war with bad people using their religion as an
we're-
excuse. But you
it's
can't
not
just
an
say all those people who are that religion are the bad people.
It's not an excuse, and I'm not saying that we're at war with the religion. I'm saying we're at war with an ideology no different than Nazism, no different than communism. The only thing that's different between it now than it was in the past is we refuse to call a spade, and we have all this social justice bullshit that's preventing us from doing what needs to be done to stop it.
Yeah,
To
I get
speak
it. But the point is,
specifically, to speak specifically of our problem with the Muslim world, we are meandering into a genuine clash of civilizations. We are deluding ourselves with euphemisms. We're talking about Islam being a religion of peace that's been hijacked by extremists. If ever there were a religion that's not a religion of peace, it is Islam. Sam Harris.
it doesn't have to be a religion of peace. As long as people can keep to themselves, that's fine. And there are people who do keep to themselves. That's my only point. You can't just draw a line in the sand. I mean, that violates our American principle of freedom of religion. Oh, except for the Muslims because we don't like them. I mean, come on.
Right. I say you judge people on their actions.
Thank you.
And so
exactly.
whatever the book says, if it says some bad shit and half the people ignore the bad shit and don't do anything bad, then they're totally fine, normal people. The people that do the bad shit that the book says, which all the books say bad shit, and most people don't follow it, so that's a good thing. The people that do the bad shit, you go after them. The people that don't do the bad shit, you leave them alone.
The truth that we must finally confront is that Islam contains specific notions of martyrdom and jihad that fully explain the character of Muslim violence.
Okay, so what you're saying is it was wrong to bomb the Nazis out of existence because they had.
No, I'm
but
not.
the Nazis,
Because the Nazis
had
did
nothing
bad
to do.
shit.
Just because the Nazis in their title were the National Socialist Party, Nazism had nothing to do with socialism. So I'm not going to go blame left-wing Democrats as being Nazis and supporting Nazism because I think, Democrats or people in charge of Britain are socialist in their, political beliefs. Just because the Nazis had socialist in their name doesn't mean I blame socialists. It's something different. Yeah, there are people who want to do bad stuff and they want to force their way of life on you, but it's not because all Muslims, blanket statement, are trying to institute Sharia law in the United States and kill us all. It's not
I'm
how
not
it
saying-
works.
hold on,
The
I'm
world
not
is
saying
not black
social.
and white.
Hold on, I'm not saying socialist. I'm saying Nazis. Very specifically
I know,
Nazis.
But
Because
that's why
it's the same, and this is what
the
I'm
name
telling you
Nazi
though.
meant National Socialist Party.
Right, and this is
Nazi
the thing I'm
Nazi
telling you
and-
though. Hold on. I let you go, let me go.
All right, go.
The thing about the Nazis was it's the same fucking thing as the Muslims. It's just a different name. They used religious ideology and fucking religious bullshit to persecute one group of people, which then, after the persecuting of that group, they used the entirety of the persecution to ratify their entire society around this idea that this group is evil. And there is nothing better than getting people together and to a common cause than saying, that motherfucker over there fucked you. And if we don't fuck them up, they're going to keep fucking you, which is exactly what the Muslims are doing.
And
Their
it's
whole
exactly what you're
ideology
doing.
is what's doing.
That's exactly what you just said. Let's go fuck them
No.
all up. Because
I said we need to deal with them the same way we dealt with the Nazis, the same way we dealt with the communists. We need to deal with it because this is an actual threat. What I'm
But
saying,
you're delineating the people we need to go deal with, like we deal with the Nazis, are Muslims. And I'm not saying it's Muslims. I'm saying there are
because that's
people
what they
doing
choose to
bad
call
things.
themselves.
Call myself a lot of shit doesn't mean that's what I am. I can call myself freaking blue. I'm not blue. That's ridiculous. That's what you're saying. Hey,
Well, if something
the
wants
people
to
who
come
need
to
to
me
go
and
be
tell
God,
me it's
like,
an asshole, I'm
hey,
not going to disagree with them.
Listen, Flippy. No, there are people in this world who need to get shot, and I'm all for going and shooting the people who need to get shot. But that line in the sand that you're drawing of people who need to get shot and not shot, it is not the fact that the people are part of a religion called Islam. That cannot be the line that we draw in the sand of who needs to get shot and not shot. There are definitely people who need to go get shot, though. I'm not arguing that. But you can't draw that line in the sand and say it's people who follow the religion of Islam, because that's A, a lot more people than you have fucking bullets, and B, goes against our ideal as Americans that we have freedom of religion As long as we can keep to our fucking selves,
It's
you can
not
do
a
whatever the
religion.
fuck you please.
It's not a religion. It's hiding behind a religious ideology just so
It
people
is a
treat it
religion.
like that. It's not
It's
a religion.
Not a fucking religion.
It's a social economical thing. That's the way they fucking govern. That's why I keep
It was
comparing
a
it
form
to
of
communism.
control.
That's why I keep comparing it to communism and Nazism. It's the same fucking thing. It's like saying like we're right now at war with the British or we're right now at war with whatever. I'm not
That's
saying
like
we're at
saying the
war with a
KKK
specific
is a
thing.
fucking religion. Is the KKK a religion?
I don't know enough about what the KKK believes, but no, I
Well, the
don't think the
KKK
KKK
claims to
is
be
a religion.
Christian, so do we draw the line in the sand and say all Christians are evil because the KKK is a bunch of douchebags? No, we call the douchebags, and we leave all the other people alone.
Yeah, but the KKK wasn't formed like 1,000 years ago with an end goal to take over the planet. I mean, the new KKK like says they don't even hate black people anymore. They're like, we just want to be segregated.
That's
So
a
they-
different
Well, it's nice of
conversation
them
of
to be
what's-
not as much douchebags as they used to be.
Well, I'm just saying you can't like compare the KKK to Islamic fundamentalism.
And I think you can compare them. They might not be exactly the same magnitude, but it's the similar thing. That when the KKK started, they came out and said, "Hey guys, we're a bunch of Christians, and therefore white people are better than everyone else." So, but again, that doesn't mean that all Christians
They
say
were
that kind of stuff.
Democrats too.
Same way with the Islamic terrorists that say, "Hey, we're Islamic terrorists, and because we call ourselves Muslim, we're going to blow a bunch of people up." It doesn't mean that all Muslims also want to do that.
There's a difference
it
though.
co-
You're comparing two different. You're comparing an apple to an orange. Yeah, they're both
Just-
fruits, but it's not the same.
I'm
type of
comparing
thing.
a subset of a bigger thing and saying, don't label the bigger thing by the actions of the subset. Just go fucking
But
kill everyone
that's-
in the subset.
But that's not the thing, though. The entire Muslim thing to even start with was a religious thing of war. The whole reason it came about in the first place was so they can subjugate their fucking enemies after they defeated them. This whole thing started off as just a fucking warlord going around taking territory and using bits of other religious aspects that were around at the time to tie his ideology together. And then from that created Sharia law, which is the governing force and the rules and regulations that everyone must follow. The difference being that, like, you say, you like to keep bringing up Christians, and you're like, oh, well, Christians are evil because in their books they say these things. There are no Christian laws that are forced upon everyone that the penalty for is murder. The penalty for is fucking mutilation.
Because the
We are at
people in
war
this day
with
and
an
age live in a
ideology.
society where they don't enforce that. The penalty
They
for
are
picking up
trying.
sticks on Saturday is death. That's what it fucking says.
They are, yeah. But
What
the
it
difference
comes
is
down
they
to
are
is
trying
Islam
to
is a
enforce
religion
it.
of peace, and if you say it's not, they'll kill you.
Well, I certainly never said that, so I don't agree with that. So maybe I'll look for a knock on the door. But again, it's my point is that there are plenty of people in this world today, whatever they believe, that get along with society just fine and don't want to kill each other. And I say leave all the motherfuckers alone. The motherfuckers in this society that want to kill each other and they want to kill us specifically, those are the people we go and take out. It doesn't matter what label they call themselves. You can't go after the giant group for the actions of the smaller group. Just take out the fucking smaller group. And again, I'm echoing what was said earlier. I'm not anti like, oh, we shouldn't go bomb them because they attacked us. No, fuck that. They attacked us. Let's go bomb them. I'm totally fine with that.
I agree with you on that, and I think it's you can kill it. You can kill the whole thing by getting down to the root and killing the root.
I think it's time that we admit that we're not at war with terrorism. We're at war with Islam. Everyone's just too PC to say it.
No, I'm not too PC to say it. I just disagree with that notion.
Yeah, I'm with Smeggy on this one. Shoot who needs to be shot, leave everybody else alone. And you can't say people need to be shot just because of their religion. I think I know somebody who said that one time. And it was bullshit. And we went and bombed the shit out of him. In fact, Flippy's been using that as his reasoning the whole time. So, I mean, that's not the right way to do it.
We're at war with an ideology that is fundamentally opposed to everything we believe in.
That's fine. This is America. People are allowed to have different ideologies. As long as they don't fuck with you, then you leave them alone too.
Yeah, but the thing being, like I just said, which you just skipped over, we're at war with an ideology that's fundamentally different than ours and directly opposed to our ideology. We say all religions are fine. They say theirs is the way, or it's will behead you. We
And if
say
they start beheading
women-
people, then you take those people out. But I know
Yeah, but
plenty
then-
of
by
them.
then it's too
I know
late.
fucking plenty of them that don't behead me. I have
If
told
you
Muslims
let
that I
it-
don't believe in Allah, and I still have a head. So obviously those ones don't fucking behead me. They're perfectly normal people that were just trying to fucking go to school and get a job, get married, have some kids, and fucking live their life like every fucking buddy else in America.
Yeah, but if the shoe's on the other foot and their culture is the dominating one, they wouldn't have any problems with you being beheaded. That's the thing.
I completely disagree with that. I think my friends would have problems with me being beheaded. Because they are humans and they have feelings and they are normal fucking people.
They aren't normal fucking people.
Whatever. You're fucking wrong, but I
I'm
won't
not.
convince you, you won't convince me. So let's talk about something else because this is getting tiring. I never thought I would be excited to talk about Cecil again. But shit, I would take that conversation now.
No, that conversation sucked.
Conversation doesn't even matter. We pretty much solved that. It was
My
the
cat,
fucking asshole's fault.
my cat was smashing her face all against my rifle. It doesn't hurt them, their faces.
Dude, they smash their face up against all sorts of shit. Like that's headbutting is like what they do. That means that your cat likes your rifle.
Sorry, I
The
totally
A2
missed that part of
front
the
sight,
conversation.
like,
My
smash
dog
my
likes my
face
rifle.
against this thing. So my rifles have fucking cat hair on them all the time.
Oh, mine gets I hate cleaning guns because it fucking something about gun oil just makes hair come jumping out of fucking every little corner and sticks to everything.
The foam on Pelican cases traps dog hair like no other, too. It's ridiculous. I can't get it out of my damn case.
It also attracts cats like you wouldn't believe.
Well, yeah, I mean cats
Well, they
inherently
wanna-
like sitting in boxes.
I want to get inside.
Dude, you have no idea how many times I almost fucking like zipped my cat up into my suitcase. Be packing for work and not really paying attention. Close it up, start zipping, and I hear meow. It's like, God damn it, get out of there.
I usually order something that comes in like a cat-sized box, and then my cat takes over the box because I'll leave it on the floor. And then he'll like get real chill, and I can pick up the box and swing it around and stuff. And he'll just be like, "Wee, this is fun."
I mean, I kind of
Free
can't
stuff,
blame him.
later.
I mean, do you remember as a kid playing in a refrigerator box? I mean, that was like the best time of the year was when people bought refrigerators. There was one day, or I guess it was kind of like a week, for whatever reason, like my whole fucking neighborhood bought a new refrigerator. We had an entire like homeless person shanty town going in my neighbor's front yard. We each had our own box and we connected them all with tunnels and like cut windows in them and shit. Like it was awesome. And then I had scissors stabbed into my head. That was not as awesome.
Okay, I'm no doctor, but I'm going to say don't have scissors stabbed into your head.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't bad. It's not like it like went through the bone or anything. It just cut like the top of my head and bled like a motherfucker.
So all the
Like-
brains are still intact, the key brain bucket parts.
Yeah, pretty sure. But yeah, it was one of those things. It's like, so I it happened, and I'm like, oh crap, I need to like get this taken care of or whatever, so I don't bleed all over the place. So like I went inside. My mom was in the kitchen. I was like, hey, mom, And she like kind of turned around. Like I was all chill about it. She turned around and like freaked out because it was all like gushing down my face and down my back and everywhere. And I was like, it's fine. It's just like a little cut. It just bleeds a lot because it's on my head.
The fuck?
It was an Instagram post.
Oh, I just thought someone's sex robot fell and got stuck on repeat.
Some chick like hurt her hand on her charging handle and then like made a video of it, and it's funny.
Just like loop back over and over again.
Yeah. Yep.
Dude, I called up my fucking gun shop, the ones where my buddy runs, and I'm like, yo. I didn't talk to my buddy. I talked to some lady. And I'm like, yo, I'm about to order a lower. I'm going to need you all to engrave an old school Colt logo into it, followed up by law enforcement only, and then like whatever the model of the gun is called. And I need to see how much it's going to be. So she's like, all right, well, let me ask our engraver real quick. It'll be 1 second. I'm like, all right, whatever, fuck it. Chill, I'll wait.
That's a trademark. You're not going to be able to do that.
Well, that's what she said. She's like, well, he said he won't do it because it's a trademark. I'm like, the fuck he won't. So tomorrow I have to go in there and yell at people and go talk to my friend. Be like, yo, what the fuck is with you not doing me a solid? And then he'll fucking do me a solid.
I'm pretty sure trademark infringement's kind of a big deal. And
It's
they
only a
don't want to
big
get their
deal
ass sued.
Well, for one, it'd be if they were selling that gun as a Colt. They're not claiming it's a Colt. They wouldn't be selling the gun at all. And secondly, no one's going to fucking know about it. No one's going to be like, look at that gun and see
I
like...
say you should get replica printed on it real big on the side of the magwell.
Because, like, look, here's another one. Like, here's someone who did it. Let me find it real quick.
Why don't you have them do like Colt _, and have a unicorn instead of a horse?
Because I'm not a homo. I don't enjoy the
Yes.
unicorns.
Oh, you're such a homophobe.
Yep.
Want to get into the gay agenda now?
Yeah, I do.
No, please, no.
They want to live their lives peacefully and do whatever the fuck they want, and then shove it down your throat that they're doing whatever the fuck they want.
All right.
As long as it's consensual, I think we should allow it in America.
Dude, I don't give a shit what the fuck happens in America. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. Like, if it makes you happy to fucking put your cock inside of a fucking horse, then put your cock inside of a fucking horse. Like, it's not my business. I just don't want it to see it
Okay,
on the
that's not consensual because animals can't give consent. But I'm just
That ain't right.
Yeah, but who cares? It's an animal. It's not a person. They don't have the same rights.
Okay.
At this point, Smeggy's fucking hands are on his face, and he's just like, what? How? How are we back to this? How did this... How?
There's no how. I know exactly how. Flippy's allowed to talk, and that's where these conversations go.
Flippy flipped it back. That's why we call him Flippy. Really? Why do
But
they
yeah, making the horse a unicorn and saying like "coolt" or something would be just as cool. And you
No, it wouldn't.
totally
I'm building a
pass
very specific rifle.
make it say Colt 45 ounce, and have
Yeah.
like
laser engrave a bottle of malt liquor on the side.
yeah.
Or a 211.
Damn. If you were only building like a 45 ACP carbine, I would totally put Colt 45 on the side of it.
Wow, here
That's
it
a
is.
good idea.
Too.
Yeah, basically, I'm putting in the side chat. This is what I want them to do, and they're like, "Oh, we can't do that." And I'm like, "Nah, you can do that." And they're like, "No, we can't do it." So I have to go in with the lower and be like, "All right, guess what you guys are fucking doing?"
We can't do it. Is that what they said?
Yeah, they're like in that exact voice. They're thinking, "We
Let's
can't
think
do
of
it.
Some changes.
It's
You could definitely
copyright
turn-
infringement." I'm like,
You
"About."
could definitely turn that into a unicorn
And I'm-
and put a cloud back there.
I'm
Put a
like,
cloud
I'm
behind
not.
the horse.
I'm like, I'm not fucking. I'm like, for one, it's not copyright infringement because you're not selling me this thing, claiming it's a fucking cult. Secondly, I'm
Bring
not
your
selling
lawyer.
this thing. And even if I were to sell this thing, if you wouldn't be hit with copyright infringement, I would. Thirdly, Colt's never gonna fucking know, nor are they ever gonna fucking care.
So I think like all of those things you just said are completely wrong. Like not one of those statements was true. Like, yeah.
That Colt won't care about a single one being done. They wouldn't.
Okay, I can't speak for Colt individually.
That's not
Some
the-
brands are very aggressive about their trademark protection.
Yo, it was an M16A1 lower.
Well, the lower I'm getting is an M16A2 lower. Basically, all these rifles were like, all the SOF rifles were like weird mix matched like
Yeah.
things to make it work to what they needed for the job.
Because what the fuck is the upper? It's a 16-inch carbine upper.
Yeah, it's a 16-inch carbine upper with a 4-position buffer tube
Maybe.
and a CAR 15 stock.
Well, what the fuck is copyrighted? The image of the
It would
horse?
be the image of the.
Yes, the image is their logo. It'd be like him trying to put like Ford on the side of his gun. It doesn't matter if obviously he's not selling a fake truck. Ford's not going to let him use their logo on the side of his gun. They own the logo. They
Yeah,
own
but
the
what
property
if-
rights
Yeah,
to
but
the
that
logo.
argument doesn't really work to the fact that if I were to go in there and say, yo, put Ford on the side of my gun, they'd be like, all right, and they'd put the Ford logo with like no issue.
I'm just saying
As
that-
long as you're not mass producing it for resale, there's not a problem.
that's not
I mean,
true.
I can fucking
If I-
write
if I-
Chevy,
if I
Ford,
go
or
and
whatever
I
I
take a
want
book-
on any of my guns.
That is not true. If I go and I put a book on a copy machine and I photocopy it, I just broke copyright law because I photocopied that book. It doesn't matter if I'm not trying to sell fake books.
You broke copyright law if you try and resell it. If it's your fucking property,
No.
just like I can
No.
buy a DVD and I can fucking like record it to VHS if I
No.
want for
you
my
can
own
you
purpose.
can you can take a DVD and you can make one single copy for your own archival purposes. But if you go and you you get a book from the library and you go and you take and you photocopy it at Kinko's and you didn't get permission to recopy that book and you're not using it for like educational purposes or something like that, and you just straight up recopy that,
Have you ever
that's
heard of the Fair
copyright
Use
infringement.
Act?
That's
What?
bullshit.
You've never heard of the Fair Use Act? I'd go look it up.
No, fair use is different than just straight up stealing somebody's logo. Yeah, I'm not saying he's doing a homework assignment and he's copying it for like informational purposes from the library to write a paper. I'm saying you just go and I'm going to like take a photocopy of the cover of Stephen King's latest book. Why? I just want a photocopy of it. You can't do that.
What if I
They
wanted to
own
make
the
a
image.
listen? What if I wanted to make a Coca-Cola themed AR?
You
That
could
was
not
like-
use Coca-Cola's logo without their permission.
Oh shit! So you mean for
They
my
don't have a
Dukes of
form-
Hazzard AR, the fucking good old boys are gonna come down and lynch me? Oh fuck!
No, I'm saying that the gun shop cannot take the liability of doing that because as soon as the gun shop has lasered on that image, they have broken copyright law. I'm not saying that there's a bunch of like people out there with like some magic detector who know that you did this, but the gun shop will not do it because they can't take the liability of using somebody else's logo and then getting slapped with a big ass lawsuit.
You mean
That-
so all those times that I 3D printed the Colt logo, I'm fucking going to prison. Oh my fucking god!
If Colt
I 3D
so
printed the
wanted
Colt
to,
logo like 50 fucking times. Like
if
I'm
Colt
done,
so
dude.
wanted to pursue copyright infringement, they would have a very easy case against you. Yes, you use their logo. You can't just
None
like
of
when you
them
watch a
do.
football
None of
game.
If I use their logo for profit, if I
No,
sell their
no,
logo, if I
it
use
doesn't
their
matter.
logo on
It
my
does not
product,
matter.
then yes.
It does not
If I
matter.
fucking print their logo and hang it on my fucking wall, there's not shit they can do about it.
That's completely not true, and it doesn't matter if you're using it for profit or not. Fair use is different, right? If I'm a comedian and I'm joking about Coca-Cola and I show Coca-Cola's logo, I'm using it in satire for my own creative work. That's different. But if I just want Coca-Cola's logo, instead of buying Coca-Cola's like tins and putting it up on the wall, the little like Coca-Cola shit everybody likes to collect, if I just print one for myself and put it on the wall, I violated copyright agreement. That's how it works. That's why people like some companies won't care. I can't tell you a Colt or Coca-Cola or whoever. Some companies don't care. Some companies protect that
You
extremely.
do realize that the trademark only fucking covers them in the marketplace, right?
That
That's
is
it.
not-
That's all it fucking covers them for.
Right.
So
And
if I copy Colt's
when-
fucking logo and then I try and sell that on one of my
And as
fucking
soon-
products,
no,
then
and-
yes,
okay,
they can. Shut
so-
the fuck up and let me talk. So if I fucking copy their logo and I put it on one of my fucking items to try and resell, yes, they can come after me. If I copy their own fucking logo for my own private use to hang on my fucking wall, there is nothing that they can do to me. Nothing.
Okay, but is the gun shop doing that for their own private use? No. Flippy is taking his gun to the gun shop, and therefore the gun shop is liable. The gun shop cannot fucking do that. It doesn't matter if Flippy's using it for his own personal use. The gun shop isn't. It's not the gun shop's gun. They're putting it on Flippy's gun. And them printing somebody else's logo on Flippy's gun.
And then technically all they would have to do is let fucking Flippy hit the start button.
Sure. Argue it out in court. I'm just saying that's not how copyright law works.
And I definitely
You
think that
obviously don't know how intellectual property law works.
Yeah, I do. Thank you.
I'm sorry, are you a copyright lawyer?
No, but
Was
I've worked on
Bigfoot there? Did he see it?
It doesn't matter what Flippy wants to do with it because the gun shop is a commercial entity. So, yeah, if Flippy goes back, but then again, they can't charge Flippy for that process. If Flippy's going to get it for free and he's going to go back there and do it himself, that's different. But if Flippy's going to go drop his gun off and the gunsmith's going to do it and the gunsmith's going to charge the labor, they can't do it. It'll never work that way.
A trademark is all about protecting a business in the marketplace. That's it. As long as Flippy's not trying to fucking mass produce these lowers with fucking, whatever symbol he wants on it, as long as he's not trying to do that, there's not a problem. Just like how I've seen ARs that I literally have Glock etched into them. Someone's like, I want a Glock AR. So they made like a fake Glock AR. Like, gee, man, I bet those guys are serving 20 years in fucking prison right now.
Well, hang on. Just because people aren't prosecuted for it doesn't mean that technically under the letter of the law it's right. Just like there's no one coming around to your fucking house and checking your AK, making sure it's 922R compliant. But we all kind of worry about it anyways. But there's no fucking people, they don't care. They don't go after it. But just because they don't go after it and they don't prosecute it doesn't mean, well, then therefore it's legal. It just means everyone's getting away with it because they don't care that much. And I would agree, Colt does not give a shit about Flippy's one AR. I'm pretty sure that they wouldn't care. But if you're talking of if he's actually allowed to do it, technically, they're not allowed to do it. And so a lot of people will err on the side of caution and be like, nope, I'm not going to do it. Under the super duper rare thing that it might come to light and they might come after me, the gun shop doesn't want to take that responsibility. Now, if his buddy smooths it all out and says, hey, man, just, technically you're not supposed to, but whatever, no one's going to find out about it, I think it's kind of no harm, no foul. But
Yeah,
I can
until
see
Flippy
why they
posts it
wouldn't
on
want to say it.
Instagram or something, right? I mean, that's
Thank you, Smeggy.
21st century.
And if the gun shop won't do it, shit, man, call around till you find an engraver that does. Like, it's not magic. It's not rocket science to carve something into the side of something. If they can carve into metal, they can do your lower.
Yeah, because I want a lower with Glock in it, in the side of it. This is epic for me.
Well, I want a lower with my snowman on the side of it. I should get it trademarked first, though, so none of you guys can take it.
I guess it has to be a polymer lower.
Mm.
Meh.
Meh. Never mind.
So how about that Ruger American?
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus.
get me one of them when they come out in the flat dark earth and the gray.
Fuck you, Knives, and the wall you hopped over.
I have a Ruger American rifle that I
Oh,
like.
dude, no. We're gonna start talking about walls pretty soon.
Not if you don't take the bait.
We
but no,
already
you won't.
talked about the Great Wall of China.
Yeah.
That didn't stop the Mongols from going over.
Hey, you Mongolians! Why you blowing my shit wall?
That thing was pretty crazy. I saw a thing about the Great Wall. It was really interesting.
Okay, I am finally almost done making Marco's logo.
Let me see.
You
Show
better,
the-
Wow.
you better trademark that shit, or else I'm carving it in the side of my lower. And
I
there's
don't give a shit what you do. I
about
don't
it.
trademark anything I do. Actually, I might trademark my Panda logo just because it's
Too late.
awesome.
I already have the patch pre-patented.
I mean, it's fine because I gave G permission to make it.
No, it was done without your consent, and the first one was sent to me.
I am a little upset that you got it before I did.
It's an awesome patch. Sitting over there somewhere.
I'm pretty sure I'm still the only one with a Smeggy patch. I know that's a hot commodity.
I have a Bob patch.
Oh God.
Yeah.
How much did Bob pay you to take it?
It came free in one of my packs.
Was Bob like, I'll give you all of my useless Canadian money if you just
Oh,
please?
Bob was sitting on your face.
Oh
That-
man, I just read Pink's comment. Just put a Colt with a big pecker on it, and then they can't fight you. Well, that seems like you. You would want a Colt with a big old wiener hanging out the bottom.
Nah, I'm good. I'm just gonna go take it to my buddy who engraves and just be like, yo, do me a solid. And he'll be like, and
it'll probably work out fine for you.
everyone will be happy and no one will get jihaded.
You'll get a Colt that says clot. Oops. It's like a bad tattoo.
No regrets.
Clot. M6.
I was eating a Milky Way.
Oh, that's weird. All right, well, you get to see all of my screens.
I don't want to see
But
all
that's
of them. Just the
basically
logo.
that's
Oh,
basically
hold on.
Girk's new logo.
Not Garrick, it's Marco.
Yeah, they're the same person.
It's too small. I can't see it. Good enough.
Oh, we'll zoom in.
All right. It's totally not how a Tavor works, but okay.
Yeah, well, that's what he told me. I had the magazine back here originally, and he's like, "Yeah, that's great, but can you move it up front like an AK mag?" I'm like, "That's
What
not
is
like a
this
Tavor."
his logo for?
I thought he wanted the flag on it.
Oh, I'm still editing the image because he's still having like the fucking state itself be edited. So once it gets
so all
done,
that green will be like the red. and
it'll
white
be
and
the
shit.
flag.
Okay.
What is this for? Is this for his Instagram? His
this is
DMP?
for his. I have no idea. This is for his business cards.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I heard about that.
So tomorrow is absolutely the last day I can get them together. So I have to get this
But what about
approved
that?
and
What
done
about
by
that
tonight.
blast?
That's what he wanted. He wanted the state to look like it was shooting, so you can tell the state was a gun.
All right. I'll accept it, I guess. I should make business cards. Just to be fancy.
Okay. I would very much suggest don't offer to do people's logos for them for free.
No.
That is 100% the worst.
I don't know what's in their head. They have to give me like a rough draft, even if they can't draw for shit.
I mean, it's not easy when they're like, hey, make my state look like a Tavor. Or when they're like, make my state look like a gun. So I made a gun. I grabbed a gun that looked like the state and edited it slightly, and then put the flag. You're like, oh, that's cool.
Dude, you couldn't make
make-
Texas or Pennsylvania look like a gun if you tried.
Then they're like, mate, it's like that's cool, but I want my state, not the gun. I'm like, okay, fine. Then they're like, "Oh no, you have it backwards. You need to flip it around." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Even though I had it the way the state was actually oriented on the fucking map.
I was gonna ask about that. Why is it shooting to the right? It should be shooting to the left.
Cause the state itself is backwards. Because
Because
that's what
he's
he asked
hoping
for.
that you'll get it when you hold it in the front of the mirror, as you do with all the rest of your business cards.
Well, that's what he asked for. He was like, because I had it the opposite way, and he's like, "No, flip it the other way." And I'm like, "Okay." And then he's like, "All right, I want the magazine to be sticking out the back like a Tavor." So I did that, and he goes, "Oh, that's great. It's perfect. Just put the magazine in front of the hand grip." I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Yo, put it in front of like the pistol grip.
It's
like an
like-
AK."
It's like I want my logo to look like a truck, but can you actually draw it like an ice cream cone?
Yeah, like at that point, I'm like, "Do you know what it?" I'm like, "Hold on, X. Do you know what a Tavor looks like? Have you ever seen a Tavor?" But so that's where we're at so
I have
far.
a website. I should have a website before I make a business card. I don't want them calling my cell phone.
Well, it depends on how you want them
Well,
to get a hold of you.
What
You can
type
just
of
put
business
your-
do you want to do? Is what you should really ask.
I mean, are you giving your business card to hot chicks? In which case, you might want at least to have
Just
your
like a
burner
funny-
phone number on
Funny
it.
baloney business. Yeah, that's a good.
If you're giving these cards to hot chicks, what you really need is a photo of your penis on it with a ruler next to it. And that way you just hand it to them and you go, "Hey, baby." And then you wink at them and make the clicky noise with your teeth.
Or if you're Flippy, a micrometer.
No, because see, chicks are going to care more about how much money you have than that. Like, they kind of care about that, but they care more about the money. So as long as you're CEO of, like, Moon Incorporated.
You hand
or
them a
whatever-
business card with a picture of your bank statement on it.
No, it's funny you mentioned that. So I knew a guy that.
All
he
right, I was
actually-
gonna.
What?
I'm sorry, Smeggy. I was gonna jump in at so many different points throughout this past few minutes. So, Moon, what was the last thing you were talking about?
Business cards?
Yeah.
Okay, but
Yeah, and then how I had a super relative story to what was just mentioned. Yeah, that part.
and then I really cut you off.
And some jerk interrupted me.
That son of a bitch.
You know what I think about this?
So anyway, so it's real short, dude. Then it's all you, man. So this dude took like all of his money in like the entire world and put it into his checking account. And then he printed up receipts from the ATM, like just got a whole bunch from like, check my balance, check my balance, check my balance. And then he like transferred it back over and like, bought shit or like whatever. Anyway, so when he was at the bar, he'd be like, "Oh, here, let me give you my number or whatever." And he would pull it out of his pocket like it was just like, scrap paper, like, I guess this will work. And then he'd write it on the back and give it to them, knowing that they're gonna flip it over and look and be like, "Holy shit." And I think it was like he had just like sold something, so he had a shit ton of money or something. And then he ended up, because he's like, that's not how much money I have now. Like it looked like a whole bunch. And then I went and bought, a $50,000 car right afterwards or something.
Hey, Moon. To do a business card like that, you don't have to set up a personal phone number. Go on Google, and you can set up a voice messaging thing where they'll call and you'll get their phone number and all that, and you can call them back.
It'll be all like, "Hi, I'm Moonfood780. I'm the dude on Gun Channels. Leave a message after the shot." Bang.
Nah, I'm gonna make one for my Instagram, but I'm not gonna sell anything. It's just a phony baloney.
Oh, check out my Instagram. Here's the link. You just hand out the cards with them on it.
Yeah.
Dude, if you're gonna do that, set up one
Like,
of them,
follow, share, subscribe.
those like little scanner box.
I could
things.
drop them off of my gun shops and be like, "Here is, take a look at my page. I'll come take pictures of your guns for your Facebook page for money." For guns and ammo.
And to the ladies, he's like, "I'll take pictures of you for free."
I'll take pictures of
Yeah.
them titties, girl.
No, hey Moon, but
Well, you
then
put a
if-
gun in it.
But then if you're even to set up a business or something like that, you could have that Google number that would actually forward it to your phone
Oh, yeah,
if you
no.
actually wanted to.
Yeah.
Or you can simply log into the Google once a day and check your messages and all that. That's the last thing I heard.
Slightly smaller gap of the state under the trigger arm. Okay.
But battle arms. But battle arms. That's the mount I got.
Oh well. Moon, if you want business cards, I'll hook you up. $60 for 1,000.
All right, I'll let you know. I'll come up with a design.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. You got to get one of those little
60
cube-
bucks for 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Well, God, you were gonna charge me $50 for. Yeah, I guess I can't beat you up too bad about that. Never mind.
The more you get, the less you pay. It's always the deal.
Well, in that case, I want 2 million, so it'd only be like $1 or something.
No, I'm pretty sure he was gonna charge me like $75 for 1,000 cards or something like that.
Well, he obviously likes Moon more than you.
Moon, I think it'd be cheaper to ship it to him and not have to do a rush order. You're like, I need these tomorrow. Can you get me these tomorrow? Get me
When
business
have I-
cards tomorrow.
When have I ever come out and said anything like that to you?
You said that
Shit
like
from
weeks ago when
Texas.
you asked that like weeks ago when you're like, yo, after I got G his like every second matters cards, like I need cards tomorrow. Can you get me every second matters cards like tomorrow? And I'm like, yeah, it's like $75.
Well, I was already asking you about that before.
Shit from Texas comes to me like fast as fuck. Everything I order from Texas comes like a day later.
That's just because we have a big cannon that we put our packages in and
I thought
fucking
you guys
fling
said-
it across the
Same
state.
with Arizona. Everything from Texas and Arizona gets to me in like one day.
I thought you guys had like tubes already underground. So you just threw it down in the tube and it sucked it straight to Pennsylvania.
Well, it's stuck to the halfway point, and then like they dig it up. The post office digs it up and then drives it the rest of the way.
So they're still underground. They're not above ground yet, huh?
Well, we can't let those dirty Japs know about our tube technology.
This guy dressed up like a jihadi guy to hunt a bear. That's what it looks like to me.
Did the bear kick his ass?
Nah, man, bear's dead. And this guy's got like a 300 blackout. Pretty nifty looking AR.
Too bad the bear didn't kill him just for dressing like a jihadi.
I don't know if he meant to on purpose, but he looks like.
Wait,
That's all we need is the bears on our side.
Scott, is that your fucking your ISIS screen name? Scotty Jihadi?
Yeah, I guess so.
On your
Oh.
terror.facebook.com account?
On my what?
On your terror.com account?
Oh yeah,
Your
that's,
face terror?
Yeah, that's
Your my terror?
That's gotta be me.
No one uses my terror anymore other than crappy musicians.
Jihad space.
Used to have a face.
Yeah. That's a funky looking optic. I'm looking on the Instagrams.
Also, the people over at Nodax Buds are super chill dudes and are really great.
Do they have an Instagrams?
Nodak? I don't know.
The guys at who? No
Nodak.
Dax.
But if you want a lower receiver that's not fenced, that's definitely the place to go. That's where I got mine.
Yeah, like I was talking to the fucking dude, and he was like trying to help me out. He's like, "Yo, have you checked out this place for like?" Because I was explaining, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm trying to find some more other parts." He's like, "Well, what else do you need?" And I'm like, "I need a fucking metal stock." He goes, "Oh, this is the place you go," and like told me straight out. And then he was like, fucking explaining other shit to me. He's like, "Yeah, if you're trying to find old school optics, go to a gun show. People don't know what they have there. If they're trying to buy it online, you're gonna fucking pay for a shit because people know what they have."
You should build a AR 180.
What's an AR 180?
Nodex Spud got.
Oh, those fucking weird ones with like the little trigger thingy on top.
On top? No.
Yeah. No, it's like that charging handle. It looks like a trigger that like is in the carrying handle.
Yeah.
Also, I was reading.
Cool shit.
I was reading more about those 2-position buffer tubes last night, and apparently, what they would do would they would grab them, they would pull it to a length that like worked with their body armor and shit, and then they would mark it, and then they would hand it off to their armor, and their armor would then like drill a third hole into it, so that way they could like adjust it to the
Are we not
correct
doing
size.
phrasing anymore? No. Okay.
Nodex Spud does not have an Instagram. It looks like.
Hey, Flippy. So have you found
No, nobody's tagging him.
Have you found your upper with the attached carry handle yet?
I'm trying to convince my friend to give it to me. I'm like telling him what he has is worthless and stupid, and I'll give him a T-top up or a flat top upper for what he has.
Now, and the lower you're putting on it has to be a.
It's a Nodex bud. It's going to be an A2. And then I need to grab a 4-position or a 3-position buffer tube.
I need an aim for the face patch.
You need an aim for the bear patch.
Aim for the beaver patch.
Ow, right in the beaver.
Leave it to beaver. Oh man, what the fuck is this? No step on snack. This fucking retarded snake.
That's so fucking great. I've seen that one. It's like the Doge one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the best. No step on snack.
I'm gonna put that on my bumper. Cop will be like, what the fuck is that? Just keep going. This guy's not a constitutionalist. I don't need it. Harass him on the side of the road.
Just have a bumper sticker on the back of your car saying, "I am not a sovereign citizen. I am a U.S. citizen." And I'm like, all right, that's a guy I'm not going to fuck with.
They might just read sovereign citizen and pull me over.
Sir, you think you're some kind of sovereign citizen? What? No, officer. It very clearly states on the back, I am not a sovereign citizen. I am an American citizen. How may I help you? I will comply.
Wait. So here's the question: if you have a bumper sticker that says "sovereign citizen," are you going to get pulled over, Mark, just because of the douchebags who have pulled that sort of shit?
I'd say it depends. I don't know if they'd be about it. I think they'd personally just be like, it's not fucking worth it either way, unless they watched a video recently and they're like, I want to fuck with that dude. I want to fuck his day. Oh, for $100, I can get the entire fucking buffer set for it.
The 2. What is it?
I think it's a 4-position.
4-position. Yeah.
It's a car stock aluminum. with
So he
like
couldn't
buffer tube
remember.
screen.
He couldn't remember what it was. Or-
Yeah, he couldn't remember whether it was a 3 or 4, but it's what he was like. It was either a 3 or a 4. Yeah, the buffer tube. Which I looked up the 4 position thing, and that came out around that time, so it's entirely possible that was it. Oh shit, is this actually correct? Wait, what's the fucking twist rate? And is this chrome lined? It does not say.
What twist rate are you looking for?
I need a 1 in 7 twist.
Wow, they were using 1 and 7 back then?
Mm-hmm.
Where's Caleb? He's gonna buy my Glock. Buy my Glock.
Which one?
Glock Gen 4 26. Yep.
Yeah, should I do the 16-inch barrel? Or should I do the 14? Because he's saying that the other people in his team had 14.5s.
I would do 14.5.
It depends on what rifle you're building.
But
Are you
his
buil-
rifle was a 16.
Well, that was my question.
I would
Are you
do
building?
I would have confliction. Is that a word?
Well,
Just
but if you've been talking to this guy and you're going to build it, part by part by what he's been saying, it would be a slap in the face to. Well, I'm gonna go back on that. It wouldn't be a slap in the face, but you should probably just build it to the. I mean, he's been so cool to talk with you up to this point. Build it to what he said he carried. I don't know.
Yeah, and you need that weird flash hider.
Well, if it's a 16, I think I asked him. He didn't give me an answer back on the bayonet thing. I think it's a bayonet collar because it's a 16-inch barrel, and that it looks a lot from that photo. It looks a lot like it with an A2 in front of it.
Yeah, I guess 16 inches. If you want his.
I would do the 16. That's my vote.
Even though it's totally wrong. I mean, in the eyes of Mother Nature.
Yeah, but it's totally what he had, so.
I gotcha. I'm not gonna be driving around an orange Knight Rider car.
Why? Because black is wrong in the eyes of nature.
No.
Are you trying to say that black is bad?
I'm saying I don't want an orange one.
You don't want black?
I want the black. I need the black. And it needs to talk to me. My car needs to talk to me. I still wanted to download like Morgan Freeman before I drove to the Poconos so he could tell me how to get there. I forgot.
Is that really a thing?
Yeah. get like celebrities to tell you where to go.
Well, wasn't one of them Mr. T?
Yes. Oh, that would get annoying. I was thinking like Gilbert Godfrey should do one.
I pity the fool who don't turn right.
Gilbert Godfrey, that would be the best.
Oh shit! I wouldn't make it 5 minutes into a trip with him on the radio.
That would be fucking. It would get annoying after a while, I guess. At first, the first like.
How about
20 minutes,
what's his name? Qui-Gon Jinn. That'd be a great turn-by-turn direction voice.
Who?
Qui-Gon, you know, the guy from Taken, Qui-Gon Jinn.
Liam
What's his name? Yeah, Liam Neeson. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Liam Neeson. Yeah.
Turn left, or I will find you.
I have certain skills. Some of them involve directions.
Anybody see this new Bruce Lee movie preview?
How do they make a new Bruce Lee movie?
It's
They
a Bruce.
digitally laser him onto screen at all times.
It's a story about Bruce.
Knight Rider.
Oh shit! Fucking someone's about to get flagged.
Nah, it's all good.
They're doing the Bruce Lee versus Wong Jack Man. The guy, if you ever seen Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, he fights him in that, and the guy
That was
kicks
the one
him in
where it
the
was like a
back.
real fight, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember.
Wasn't he in traction for like months after that? Like it broke his back.
Well, yeah, but that's not really what. That movie wasn't what happened in real life.
That's
Because
not what really happened.
I read like 4 biographies, and
I have the Tao of Jeet Kune Do sitting somewhere on a shelf. I've never read it though.
Yeah, I have an old one, and I just got the new copy. They just changed the cover, so you can't get the old cover anymore. That's besides the point. This is a story about Bruce Lee versus, like, that fight really happened, and it was like a brutal fight. Like, they both fucked each other up pretty good, and then neither of them would quit. But I don't know. From the preview, it looked like they were trying to make. Well, Bruce Lee was a cocky bastard and shit like that, but it seemed like they were making like Bruce Lee out to be the bad guy, and this like Wong Jack Man guy to be like the peaceful Shaolin monk to come and defeat Bruce Lee.
Was Bruce Lee cocky, or was he just in full freaking control of
No,
everything?
he was a pretty cocky bastard that probably
Okay.
was cheating on his wife at the time that he took the aspirin that gave him a brain aneurysm.
Oh yeah. I got no history on any of that, and I don't know if I've ever seen a Bruce Lee movie.
Okay.
Go ahead.
That's a problem. You're missing out on life there.
I was gonna say, go ahead. Let the Bruce Lee shaming begin.
Like, I mean, come on, Chinese Connection, probably my favorite.
Nah.
I should probably buy one of these M16 parts kits. From
Hell, I
the
think
mill.
the guy was even local to here, was he not? Local to where I'm at.
Yeah.
Do you live in China?
No, he was. Bruce Lee was American. He was born in San Francisco, but he had a school in Oakland. He lived in Oakland, and he moved back to Hong Kong to make movies because there was a lot of racism in Hollywood.
There's still a huge Bruce Lee following here in Washington.
Then once they realized what they were missing out on, they started producing films in America like Game of Death and Enter the Dragon, but Game of Death never took off. Some prickbag finished it 6 years later, and it had like 15 minutes of Bruce Lee and an hour and a half of cheesy ass Bruce Lee lookalike. But Enter the Dragon was like was going to be like his first major motion picture for American studios.
Know which one was him in the yellow freaking thing?
That was Game of Death. Just watch the last 15 minutes because that's all he's in, and that's the best part of the movie anyway. Because he's going up the levels of the.
Oh, that's the one. I've seen that, but I think I've just seen the part where he's like fighting up the levels.
Yeah, that's the only part you need to see. The rest
I mean,
of
it's not like you needed much
garbage.
story. I'm like, I wonder why he's fighting these people. Oh man, look at he did like a double backflip. That was crazy.
Yeah, the rest of the movie's garbage. Garbage.
Well, good. I'm glad I saw the best part.
Interested in this new Bruce Lee movie though, because I mean, in real life, he was fighting to keep his schools open and teaching uh, people that aren't Chinese, like letting the secret out. So if he won this fight, he got to keep his schools. If he lost his fight, if he lost it, he had to pack up all his schools.
I have
And
a
that was like
question. Does anybody here?
Chinatown, like that was like
It's
the
not the
law.
same shit though with what's that dude like Wei Fu Man or whatever, Waifu Man, the dude
Alright.
who fucking trained Bruce Lee.
All right. Does
Man.
anybody
Yeah.
does anybody know if Bruce
Yeah.
Lee was looked down at for trying to spread that
Yeah,
Eastern
Ip Man
culture?
What'd you say again, too, Heidi?
I said after he started doing those schools, was he looked down at by the I don't know what you would call him in his native land?
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
Like
For-
that was
for-
the whole point. They were pissed at him for doing it.
Okay.
He was trying to spread Asian culture while they were trying to keep it a secret.
Gotcha.
I forget what I was going to say after that.
Ancient
Well, yeah,
Chinese secrets.
Flippy asked about his teacher, and his teacher, it was the only guy that would teach him. Bruce Lee didn't start till he was 14. And he's a quarter German, so he wasn't fully Chinese, so he had a hard time finding a teacher. And that guy, Ip Man, was the only guy that would teach him. And now they're making like movies, Chinese like legend movies, folklore movies about Ip Man. I guess because they got sick of their last folklore hero, because they've been doing movies since they invented film about this other guy. I forget his name.
They have all that series with Donnie Yen, right? About it, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, those are so fucking good. I saw the third one recently came out. Like the first one, he beats the shit out of like a crew of fucking Japs. The second one, like he beats the shit out of some like British dude.
I like the first one the best.
The first one's really good. Where the dude's just like mad wealthy and shit, and then the Japs come in and then he's poor.
Yeah, they're like eating fucking dirty potatoes or some shit.
They're like eating dirty rice with potatoes. He has to like beat up like 20 dudes just to get a bag of rice.
Yeah, that was the shit. That was like the best fight scene ever. Ip Man versus 10 Japanese soldiers.
And then that his buddy gets like shot in the head at the end. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, he's dead." And then like the second one, it's like, "Nope, he's not dead. He's just mentally retarded now."
So he left the bag of rice too. Could have rinsed the blood off and ate that shit.
Well, why rinse the blood off? I mean, that's you drink the blood of your enemies to get stronger, don't you?
That wasn't the blood of his enemies though. That was the blood of his friend who fought before him.
Yeah, I'm fucking muted. Yeah, I was like, that's the blood of his buddy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't see it, but okay. So then you get the power of your buddy. Why not?
Yeah.
It was his buddy who got the shit kicked
Buddy.
out of him by the dirty chaps.
Your buddy can live with you forever now that you eat his blood on your rice.
Yeah,
Bloody rice.
seems fine to me. I don't see the problem.
All right. See, we can go either way. But you gotta watch that fight scene. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, fight scene's really good. The fight scenes in that fucking movie is really good. Like all those movies are really good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the third.
Nuts.
I haven't seen the third IP Man yet, but
There is I don't know what the fuck they're on now, but it's like got Mike Tyson in it. They're just going all crazy, so I just think first.
Fucking Ip Man fought Mike Tyson.
I
It wasn't
guess.
that good.
Did Mike Tyson throw him down a set of stairs?
Knives, was that 4 or 5? Is it?
I don't really remember, but yeah, I don't remember it sucked.
Yeah, man.
Dude, there were like 2 sets of those movies going on like the same time. Like there's
That's the
IP Man 1 and 2 going on at the same time. There's a different IP Man set going on, and like the second set was like fucking darker somehow. Like in the second one of the second set, he's like a drug addict cheating on his wife,
Yeah.
fucking beating his son. And being like, I need to save this school, and he's like beating his son up and his wife.
Yeah, man. So fucking that's the problem with the Hong Kong movie industry is they'll fucking jump the shark and then just keep jumping sharks for like decades.
Until
same
they've
shit.
jumped one too many shark, and then they're like, all
They'll
right.
line sharks up like Evil Knievel and see how many they can jump.
Then they're like, all right, it's time for the next fucking Hong Kong folk hero. Whip them out. Like, I wonder if in our lifetime we'll be seeing movies based on fucking Jackie Chan.
Yeah, like that'll be the future of the Hong Kong movies. Like Jackie Chan, he was like this mystical fucking monkey kung fu guy.
Yeah.
He saved China.
And
He
he
saved China.
understood the
Yeah.
words that were coming out of his mouth.
He was a super cop as well. He solved all crime.
He was
Without
like the
freaking out.
He already had his time, did he not?
he was the greatest among us. He hung out with the black man. He even made a cartoon show
He had
that
a
he
rumble in the
himself
Bronx.
wasn't voiced in.
Jackie Chan Adventures was the bomb, though. That's
Dude,
all.
yeah, but the guy who did the voice for Jackie Chan wasn't even Jackie Chan.
Yo, he's coming out with another one.
The Great Rumble.
That was probably
of
the
the
fucking
Bronx.
funniest.
That'll be like one of the remakes. It won't be a remake though. It'll be like an old folklore tale of like how he really kicked everyone's ass in the Bronx.
Jackie Chan invented the ghetto. He was the one who put the poor into impoverished states by beating up the ghetto.
It would be like him dressed in like his Tekken 3 outfit. Because you know that motherfucker was in Tekken 3.
Yeah,
Jackie Chan Drunken Master was the shit.
they're totally going to be showing this documentaries with Chris Tucker playing the black guy saying, "We need an Asian to come save us." Jackie
And then, like,
Chan's
Jackie
gonna
Chan,
come in
like-
and just
Bicycle kicks his way on screen while like, I need a hero, baby. He's like playing in the background. He's like, yo, I'm Jackie Chan, superhero extraordinaire. Check out my cartoon show. Or like at the end of every episode, I somehow inexplicably look like they just woke me up from a 20-year nap and then told me to punch a bag while talking to us.
Yeah, the end of every Jackie Chan Adventures is like, remember, kids, don't do drugs. I'm Jackie Chan.
Yeah, watch as I do a punchy thingy to this bag. Whoopah! Every time though, he looked like he just was phoning it in. Like he's like, "Yo, they just woke me up from my nap. They told me I couldn't drink my
He
fucking
totally
grain
was. I was
alcohol."
like, hey, Jackie, we're going to like license your name for this cartoon, all right? Yeah, that's cool. Just wake me up when I get my paycheck.
They're like, "Yo, Jackie, oh, my paycheck? No, you gotta do a film spot for it." Oh, fuck. No, Jackie, you gotta put down the alcohol and cocaine. This is for kids.
That'll
Fuck
be the
the
dark.
kids.
That'll be the dark Hong Kong version. It'll be where he actually is a drunken master, but more than just drunk.
He's just there, like fucking coked out on like cocaine, just being like, "Fuck the kids. They buy stupid, shitty cartoons anyway. They made me act in Mr. Mom or The Agent Next Door."
No, the Tuxedo. That was his worst movie.
It wasn't. That was not his worst movie. The Tuxedo was really shit, but it wasn't the worst. The one where like he was a babysitter and a secret agent at the same time was really fucking bad too.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of those.
Wait, wasn't the one where he was a babysitter and a secret agent? Wasn't that The Rock?
No, it was Vin Diesel. The pacifier.
That was the pacifier. Yeah,
Or-
Jackie Chan.
That's Vin Diesel. I always get those two mixed up. They all look alike to me.
Well, Vin Diesel, or The Rock isn't a homo, and Vin Diesel is also bald. But fucking, I think that movie even came out the same time as the pacifier, because I think they were trying to directly like compete with the pacifier. It was like Jackie Chan was like a friend of their mother, and the mother's like, "Yo, can you babysit?" And he's like, I have accounting things to do, Ra." And she's like, "Thanks, she'll be a great babysitter." And like, "But I don't know how to do the kids."
To do.
And she's like, "Whatever, here's the keys to the house, bye."
How come it's racist when you do a Chinese accent, but it's not racist when you do like an African accent?
I mean,
Or
it's just as racist. This is the answer.
no. You can. There's other accents from other races you can do, like authentically.
Oh, well,
I guess maybe
German?
because. Yeah, like a
Well,
German,
that's
but the
because Germans are white, so it doesn't count.
But if you were to speak like a Mexican,
Dude,
I guess I don't know. I guess it can't be stereotypical. It has to be more authentic. So
Yeah.
it's not racist.
and the Chinese
or
just
else
talk like
it's, or else
stereotypes
it is
of the part.
racist or it isn't racist.
it is. If you're stereotyping a culture, it's racist. Apparently now.
But if you don't stereotype their culture, then you're just trying to whitewash their culture. So you lose either way, Too Hottie. Don't worry.
We're social justing ourselves into a hole.
That's why we need to have the world launch all of the nukes at Mars.
To terraform.
Yeah, so we can terraform Mars.
Terraform.
We have to have a jihad against Mars.
I don't know how that's gonna work. That motherfucker has to explain that shit.
Whatever. It doesn't cost us anything.
Not all the nations are gonna shoot their shit. Everyone's gonna hold something back, not just the U.S. The U.S. is gonna be like, haha, well, we still have 30 nukes.
We still have 100. How many do you fuckers have? And they're like, we never
And they're
shot
like-
any. You literally shot all of them. And then we just go, fuck.
That's how it's going down.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to vote Flippy for president. That's what I think is going to happen.
Nah, dude, just vote Trump for president. That's all who we need right now. He's the hero. He's the hero we need, not the one we deserve.
Despite my best judgment, I am.
That's okay. Oh, that reminds me. They got back to me today with how much the fucking Flippy for Right 2016 patches are going to be. So, it's going to be more than I'm willing to give away for free. So,
PVC?
yeah, they're PVC.
How about
So I'm going to talk with G-Webs and figure out how the Twitter works and get like an Indiegogo thing going for them. I'll probably charge like $8 a pop. And then there will only be fucking 8 or 90. I think 90 of them will be sold, and then the extra 10 will be given away.
dude?
Who's got the munchies?
I don't know if 90 people's gonna buy the Flippy is Right patch.
If I sell it for $8 a patch,
Wait. So we've gone down from the Ruger LCR last night to the Streamlights, and now we're talking about patches.
No, this
No.
is totally different.
Okay,
This is Flippy
okay.
Zone.
this
Flippy
is
Zone.
100% different than the gun channels thing.
All right. This is a Flippy is right patch.
Yeah, this is the Flippy for right patch, which will be like my
Even though
logo.
Flippy be slippy,
Uh,
and he was wrong a couple times.
wasn't it the Flippy is right tour or something like that?
He redeemed
Yeah,
himself.
so the Flippy is right patch will be a part of the Flippy for right tour.
Flippy for right tour.
So I'll get those. I'll get all that figured out and have that set up on the Indiegogo thing.
And when did you change the word from Flippy is right to Flippy, whatever now you're saying?
I didn't. I've always said Flippy for right 2016.
Flippy for right?
Yeah,
No,
I've always said that.
you're
No.
smoking crack.
This is the first
No.
time I've heard it.
That's how it
Right?
fucking, dude. That's
No,
how it
it's
fucking
always been
started.
the Flippy is right tour. Flippy is right.
Yeah,
Totally.
the Flippy is right tour and the Flippy for right patch. That's how it's always been. That yeah. I mean, go back and look at
Well,
fucking.
you just separated your patch from your tour, and now it doesn't make any sense to me. And I
Yeah,
want
no.
nothing to do with it.
Totally.
Go back and look at the never enough ammo thing.
This is
that
very
was on.
inconsistent brand messaging, Flippy. You really need
I
to
don't
hire
have a-
somebody.
I don't have a brand for this. I'm just doing this because whatever.
Bro, believe me, you have a brand. son.
Mainly,
You
I
have a
want
brand.
a brand of awesome. But maybe I just want one of these PVC patches, and I'm trying to find a way of getting one while having the people fund it for me, like Bernie Sanders.
Well, you have to start saying things like that you were in the middle of a revolution. You'll get money.
I said that earlier. I like we are in the
Oh.
middle of a revolution.
So
The
No,
certain
not a
ethnic group.
revolution. You have to go
So
a revolution.
Flippy. So you're only wanting one of these patches, or are you wanting a special run done?
Well, for me to do it, I'd have to order 100 patches.
Well, let's not even talk
You
about
should have
that.
just got an embroidered one.
So,
He would have made one probably for
but
you.
she already made embroidered ones. Nah, but I want like PVC and an embroidered one.
Of course.
Either
it
way,
is.
so I'm gonna
Gotta
like
be the best, huh?
yeah, I am the best. It's just a consequence of what I am. So whatever. I'm gonna get it like sorted to try to have like them be ordered. And then when Trump gets elected and I'm on all the fucking gun channels podcasts talking about how I'm the greatest and how I was right, I will give one away for each podcast I'm on. So I'm gonna like
You're not
hold-
the only one that's like, picked Trump, from the very beginning,
I'm the most
Very,
vocal
very
about it.
beginning, when everyone, when that dumb doctor, when all those guys, before they even narrowed it down to, fucking Trump and Hillary, I've been saying Trump the whole fucking time. So you're not the only one that's like predicted this
No,
shit.
I've just been the loudest about it. Plus, I go on all the podcasts that I can get on and say that Trump's going to win. Because I'm always right.
Okay, but do you really think he's gonna win?
Yeah, he's going to win.
Like, this isn't like a Stephen Colbert sort of thing, right? You really think he's gonna win?
No, he's honestly going to win.
Well, hey, we're all
Dude, you
we're
can
all
see
in
it.
the same boat here, so I hope we
You
all
can see it
hope
in
and
his
think
eyes.
He's gonna win.
He's going to win.
Oh, no. I hope. If there's anybody I hope has lung cancer, it's Hillary Clinton. If there's anybody like right now that I hope wins of the two of them, it's clearly Trump. I will put my black little bubble next to Trump's name when the early voting comes in the mail. That's not the point. Point is, you really think he's gonna win? Like,
So
Yep.
so if you
Yep, it's time to make America great again.
so
Yep.
so Carlos, if you had to place a wager today, you would vote or you would place your bet on Hillary.
right? I'm betting I'm on the losing team. Let's put it that way.
Nah,
Yo, they
dude.
said the same
I
thing
can
in the
see it.
Brexit. They said the same thing during the Brexit. All the polls said it.
I can
they said
see it
World
in
War
Trump's
III is going
eyes.
to happen. They said everything they say if Trump's going to win, they said would happen when.
I'm just going based on how the electoral map works, how the polls look. I mean, yeah, he's closing, but he's still behind. That's the
backing
thing.
up them polls, man. That left wing media is
No, I
Backup
understand the
can't even trust
polls,
real
but
clear
in general, the
products.
polls are right. Why the polls have so much sway, I don't know. But the polls are generally right, unfortunately. That's my problem. That's why I'm like, I don't really think he's going to win. I wish I was wrong, but
The polls, though, I mean, it depends on what day and what hour and all that.
yeah,
I
and if
mean,
you aggregate them all, Hillary, usually wins, right? I give it, like right now, I give it like a 70-30 sort of thing.
all right, I apologize if I was the one who turned this into a political thing.
I don't think we're even debating the politics. I'm just saying, like, if I give you an over-under on like the odds of Trump winning versus Hillary winning, I'm only going to give you a 30% chance Trump gets it.
Trump.
If I was a betting man, and I am, Trump's going to take it. I can see it in his fucking eyes. He's going to win this shit.
I don't want to break it to you, Flippy, but he doesn't vote for like himself alone,
He doesn't need to. He's going to win.
What you playing with there, Moon? I hear the clickety click.
That sounds more like a clackety clack.
Touche.
Clackety clack, don't come back.
Yakety yak?
Hey, what the hell is that? Great Outdoors? Or are you talking? What song was that?
But the bald-headed bear.
Yeah, I'm talking about that song.
Sorry,
What?
I had to mute. It was a Glock 19. If you didn't hear.
Oh, did you get your Vickers Glock?
No.
Oh.
Playing with my.
Okay, I'm really disappointed that the next generation of Vickers Glocks are black. I was really hoping for like different color.
At first,
Why do you
I
hate
was-
blacks?
At first, I didn't want nothing to do with it. At
I
first,
bet,
didn't want nothing to do
motherfucker,
with
I
it.
bet you wanted a white one. You're like, God, I hope Vickers gives us Whitey something to look up to.
Tiffany.
Okay, if he had a
it's-
Snow White
it's only-
Vickers Glock, how awesome would that be? Come on.
Well, Master Race and all.
It's just black coated. Well, maybe not just, but it is black coated 24 karat gold. So, just so you know.
Yeah.
My buddy has the FDE, the first one, the Glock 19 Vickers, and it's freaking sweet. And I was like, the next one came out, and I'm like, okay, what's the third color going to be? I was like, black. I'm like, come on.
Dude, I bought the second generation one, the gray one. I wish I got the FDE one, but I wasn't into guns at the time the first one came out. Or I would have purchased it.
Well, I missed the boat on. I was probably broke or just bought a gun before I heard about the Vickers, and then the gray one came out right after I bought the gray Gen 4. So I was like, motherfucker.
I don't think I was into Glocks when.
So this
Vickers
time I was
first
like,
started.
It's black. It should have been. I was hoping for Battlefield Green or OD Green.
Honestly,
Did you
it
guys see
should have been
the?
green.
Did you guys see? There was a poll. It was like 3 days ago, from Circle 10. They're trying to get Lipsies to do a Vickers plum Glock.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
Oh, that'd be fucking awesome.
I said, dude, like a Bakelite Glock. Get that shit. But then I guess the black grew on me after I found out the front sight was a gold bead.
I mean, they need to do like the mild Yeopolis or whatever edition Glock and just make it all fucking pink.
I might end up.
The what? The mild
The lady
Iapetus?
Vickers. They'll just call it the lady Vickers.
The mild Iapetus?
Yapalopolis?
Apple.
George Stephanopoulos?
Yeah, you know.
I
The one
might
who's
end up
doing the
taking
Dangerous Faggot tour.
the sights off the Vickers and putting them on my gray Glock, and then getting different sights for the Vickers so I can carry it.
Why would you mutilate your Vickers?
Like put HDs on.
Why
I
would you
like.
mutilate your Vickers?
I have the Ameriglow iDot Pros. I really like them. I like them
Yeah,
better than
they're
the Trijicon HDs.
Oh, you can't trust
Pretty
those
much.
things, dude. They're Jewish.
No, they're not. They're American.
Nah, Meprolite? Meprolite is fucking Israeli.
Ameriglow.
Yeah, Israeli.
Ameriglow.
Are sourced by the Israelis.
Motherfucker.
I mean, it doesn't matter. We're all run by a secret Jewish
They
council
have
anyway.
tritium lamps in them. Ameriglow. Anyway, you can't go wrong with any of their sites. They're all good. Ameriglow. I fully endorse them. I think I want Ameriglow cap sites on my 43.
The only reason I didn't go with the cap is the rear sight on the cap doesn't have the tritium; it just has the bar. So I wanted the tritium in the back. I do like the square option, though. I was hoping for that.
I really like the
19.
I like the Trigicon HDs. Those are my favorites.
Is
they're good.
tritium in the back really necessary? I mean, at self-defense distances, is it not all about front sight?
Well, according to what's his face, you don't use your sights ever in a self-defense shooting.
Okay,
So
but
just cut them off.
all right, but at your longest self-defense range, all right, maybe not longest, but
It is all about
Straight-
front sight for fast, but I mean, as you get out there, you're gonna need it, right? Like,
well, of course, for your windage, yeah.
so, like, I don't want just a sight just for up close. I think it should be able to do stuff, and I think the iDots, because there's no color on the back sight, it is, really front sight heavy. You really have to focus to line it up properly, but with the back sight, but it's not unusable.
Right, but if with the backside, if they do that same exact brightness tritium that they have on the front sight, I mean, is your mind not just gonna automatically go to shit?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's
Bullshit,
the
bullshit.
question is here. Let me turn on the camera. Let me give me a second.
Shit, now instead of acquiring that one site, I got 3 sites and I got to line them up. And
So there's only 2. So you see the bright orange front. I don't know if my camera is getting it on here.
I see the one in the middle.
So you got
yeah.
bright orange. You can't miss it. So in the
Gotcha.
daylight, I never see the back sight in the daylight because the orange draws your eyes so much. Yes, both dots are the same intensity at night, but that's like the worst case scenario. And I think it's better than like the Trigicon HDs at night are a 3-dot sight, which I think are retarded at night.
All right, so with what you're showing me there, is the rear sight, is that red?
No, so that's just the lamp.
That's just the what?
That's just the tritium lamp.
Oh, okay.
So then the front is orange.
Right on.
Yeah. I highly recommend these sites.
Yeah,
Especially if
I'm
you
a
like-
fan of.
so
if you're going with night sights, go with maybe a different color up front than you do for the rear.
They have
Well, night sight wise, there's not really.
Tactical.
Is there an easy? Do they have night sights with a different color? Because I mean, the tritium itself is green. Are there ways to make different color tritium?
Well, you buy them one at a time. I think you can.
Yeah, I think they have yellow and green on their website. If you're doing like a custom one where you order the front and the back different.
Oh yeah.
But the Spartan Tacticals
Yeah.
are like Trigicon HD,
The
where they're like
the
just
one-
the lamp in the back with the a white one, and
Yeah.
then the front is bright orange or bright red or
So
whatever.
the one downside to these ones is if you get any sight with an orange front, it doesn't glow. But if you get the exact same sights with your classic yellow, like with the Trigicons can come in as also the HDs, the front sight will glow in the dark. So there you'll have a difference if you get a glow in the dark front where you'll get that fluorescent yellow glow on your front sight,
Yep.
which is nice. But the reason I went with the orange is because of the cross training with an AR with a red dot. I figure train your eyes to find that red color is a good way to go. And I don't know about anybody else, but when I started cleaning dogs, my dog came in, or cleaning guns, my dog came in here. I swear to God, she's getting high. She's like sitting here like breathing
Dude,
deeply gun oil.
I was gonna say, you said I don't know about anybody else, but when I started cleaning gods,
Guns. And the dog came in. Sorry. No, I didn't clean my dog. Dirty dog.
No, I thought you said God, which made it even funnier.
All right, we are clean after yesterday's range trip, just in case anybody was wondering.
I usually don't like any air in between my rear notch and front sight. But those Vickers sights are like a U notch with a really thin front post.
Yep. Yes, they are.
So they're more like a battle sight.
That seems like a fun challenge. No,
So
they're
is
like
that-
I guess they're like quick acquisition if you're good, but they can also be good for target shooting.
Oh, because you do have
Well, I
because
guess
you
they're
do
made
have
for
that,
quick.
that thin front post, but they're made for quick target acquisition.
Well, you can get a finer point of aim with the thinner front post.
At distance. Well, period.
Yeah, period. But to better effect at distance, I guess.
Right, because I also think the small front post is so you see your target through the sights while you're still looking
Yeah.
through, right? Yeah, it takes a little bit getting used to, I think, with those Vickers sights, for sure.
So Moon, you have yours? Is that correct?
No, I ordered it yesterday.
Oh,
So
okay.
the first they're getting 4 in this week, and they're spoken for. But next week they're getting 4 more in, and one of them's mine. One of the 19s.
Right on.
So in about a week or two. Spend any of my own cash on it, so I'm selling my 26 because I can always buy a 26 later, and I really don't. It's what winter's coming, so I'll be carrying my 19 or one of my 19s around.
Maybe that's what I should do. Sell a freaking upper so I can go out and buy all the ammo and stuff that I need.
Because I think I want to find when I get another Gen or a 26, find a Gen 3 with a flat dark earth frame. Look on the gun broker and whatnot.
And you have zero problems at all buying used, right?
Sometimes I buy used. Have to be in good condition though.
And ungarage modified.
I bought Smith & Wesson 915 used, but it was only factory fired. I bought the PPQ 45. I got like $100 off because the guy bought it, and I guess his wife made him take it back the very next day, so it was out of the shop one day, never fired. Got that. And I bought like a P99 QA used. That was a little worn, but it wasn't too bad. And I shot that pretty good. I don't think I bought a lot of other used handguns besides a FEG PPK clone that I put like 1,000+ rounds through.
Yeah, I don't know if anything I have is used other than by me. Actually, I can't say that there's one. The P6 that I know for sure.
Yeah. I think it was only 4 used guns, and 2 of them weren't even used, and the other 2 were used. Pretty good. But I'm always looking in the used fucking rack. I almost bought a CZ85 Combat last year for $425 in like super good condition. The guy must have put like a mag through it or something. I regret not buying that.
So, have you ever had this problem where you were looking at a used gun at a shop and they wouldn't let you do a simple field strip on it to see the
No, they always let me take it apart if it's used and look at it.
Yeah, I've been to a shop where they said, nope, you don't get to do that. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I have one of these things.
I'd have been like, well, can you do it for me and show me the inside? Because I want to look at it.
And I asked him to do it. And he didn't know how to. So I said, do you want me to show you?
I could see if they don't know you, so they don't know if you're gonna like break it or some shit.
Well, shit. Yeah.
I know all the people at my 2 favorite shops. Basically, I just walk in there and I don't really have to ask them anything anymore. I don't walk behind the counter and look at guns, but I just ask them to show me something, and they'll hand it to me, and then walk away and do whatever the hell they were doing, and I'll just have it field stripped and back together and dry fired like a couple times.
Yeah. I'd
be like, nah, put it back in the case.
I have a shop that I'm
I always
like that
ask.
with, but they are in Seattle, so they become even the guys there are cool, but they just
I don't ask because I don't have to. That's the whole point.
No, like the dry firing thing, I always ask. I'm like, yo, can I dry fire this gun? I've never been like told no, so it's like, all right.
Nah, even here, I don't have to ask because they know I'm gonna do it. They know I'm gonna ask. They know the answer is yes. So now it's just like a.
Well, do you dry fire a nice revolver on empty cylinder?
No, I don't do anything.
Okay.
Like I don't really look at revolvers that often. So
plus,
now, why do you not want to dry fire a revolver? I've heard that before, but I never understood. Like, I don't know why.
It depends on the revolver.
It's the classic type of revolver where the firing pin is still on the hammer because it basically just slamming, and you'll.
The one with the transfer bars aren't the same.
Yeah, like a modern Ruger, it doesn't matter. Like a new Ruger GP100 or something with a transfer bar, it doesn't matter. That's not the same.
But even with the firing pin on the hammer, I mean, it's not like it's hitting anything. It's just
that's the point. Is it like overextends and jacks shit up? I'm not a.
Well, here's my experience, and all it is on a Ruger Heritage 22 Rough Rider. But if you dry fire that thing with without brass in the cylinder, you take gouges out of the actual cylinder.
Now, if I went to
you ding it up and stuff.
If I went to a brand new shop or a shop that I don't frequent, then I would ask them. I would ask them everything. I would ask them, can I take it apart? Can I dry fire it?
That's the biggest one for me when buying a used gun, like or any gun in general, is if I can take it apart, because
if I'm buying a used gun, it's getting taken apart.
Yeah, and that's the thing is people get squirrely about you taking their guns apart. It's like, look, dude, I got to look at this. I want to see if there's rust or how much wear is on it or shit like that. People get squirrely about taking apart the guns.
I remember the last one I took apart was that Gen 2.5 126.
Well, and that's really the funny thing is, I mean, I had bought a P6 from these guys in the past, and these were the guys who when I went back and they had another one, I said, all right, look, can I take it down and just see how the finish is holding up and all that stuff. Oh no, we're gonna have springs flying all over the place, blah blah blah. It's just like, are you fucking kidding me? Do you not know I just bought one of these from you guys?
Shit, we're being invaded.
Hey Bob, what's up with the long face?
Sorry, didn't realize my camera was on.
You just wear that mask. That's even creepier than.
Yeah, it's definitely creepier than if he did it on purpose.
Bob, you laugh like Hillary. I don't know if anyone's ever told you that before.
I've been practicing that laugh, man.
We both did that at the same time.
That was magical.
Laughing tandemly.
Yeah, that's getting too weird. Tandem laughs, stereo laughs. Those are that's cool. Laughing in stereo.
When does Battlefield 1 come out?
October 20-something.
It looks like it's going to be good, but I don't know, man. Like, real trench warfare wasn't like that.
Oh, probably not. It's a game.
Hey Bob, I
Battlefield. It's
didn't
basically Star Wars, but way better.
Bob, I didn't catch the Daily Show today. What's the Cliff version?
Same as always. We just talked about shit.
He don't remember.
Yeah, fuck, man. I'm old, man. I'm lucky if I can remember yesterday. I got my car home though, or a truck.
I remember that I knew the answer to the
One
pop
of them
quiz.
automobiles.
Some asshole typed faster than me.
Who was that? Connery?
No, I beat him. It was some dude on YouTube.
Oh yeah, they were just. Oh, what the hell? Who the hell was that? He was like, Dano barely had the question out of his mouth. It was what was the theme of G-Web's Instagram yesterday?
Bullpups.
Bullpups, yeah.
Exactly. But that's I was like right there, but someone else already had it.
What was that today?
The theme was polymer guns.
No.
Or no, the theme was foreign-made guns.
No.
Okay. Hey, now that's for the theme he had going for the past few days, right? Like
No, there was a new theme.
There's a new theme today?
There was a new theme yesterday.
Yeah, Bullpups.
Yeah, I'll never win the quiz because every time I listen to the show, there'll be like this 10-second moment of the thing like buffering, and only on that show. And I'm 10 seconds behind. Everybody's like answering the question I didn't even hear yet. What the fuck?
And you're like, I haven't even heard the question yet.
I don't even try
I listened
anymore.
to the YouTube side maybe, but I think I tried that one day and then it started doing it on the YouTube side. I was like, what?
I don't even try anymore because I figure we got guys like Flippy out there with 3 different monitors and doing it on the YouTube side, the gun channel side, and everything.
No, Flippy never does it. You got to worry about Sean.
Winners. Yeah, Sean and Matt.
I don't listen to the Daily Show. It doesn't work for me. For some reason, like it just stops and buffers the entire time.
See, my whole thing, I only answer the question with my own knowledge, which is very limited. So anything that like the other guys look up and they're just faster at looking it up than me, I just don't even bother trying. So if I don't know it off the top of my head, then I just don't know it.
Well, the little inside thing is I don't know it most of the time either.
Hell, I think there was only one question that you guys even asked in the Daily Show that I knew, and that was the common 9mm bullet projectile grain weights.
Yeah, I don't even think I get any answers right anyway.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
Oh, like that.
Waffles.
Yeah.
At one time.
Well, that's why today was so frustrating because I knew the answer and I typed it as fast as I could, but someone beat me to it. It's like, Damn it! I actually knew the answer.
Oh
Can't
yeah,
catch a break.
yeah. That guy must just be sitting there with his hands over the keyboard.
No prize for second place, Maggie.
But it's been fun doing the show. I mean, shit. We've been doing it a long time. 141 shows now.
Yeah, 141 days.
Days, yeah.
You almost sound like you know what you're doing.
And you even there was a couple that you guys missed, or no?
I think we missed maybe one, and then there was a couple that were real abbreviated because it was just me and G at the time, and I couldn't make it.
Yeah, I know some were short and then some were later at night until I could make up.
Yeah, we tried doing some like if we couldn't make it at this regular time, it would be at 4 o'clock or something when we were first doing it. It was kind of chaotic. We had no idea what we were doing. Made a big difference adding 2 more guys, boy. It just gives you that extra, instead of one of us just feeling forced to have to say something to fill the dead sound, dead space. There's you got Dano and Z, and I mean Dano can start on a subject and and that'll fill in some time.
Well, and that's the thing. You all know a little bit on something different, so it's like it makes it easier. You can kind of fill in.
Yeah.
Dano had like the best chats. If we could just get Dano to do his chat again,
oh yeah,
it would be like one of the best chats of the week.
Well, I wasn't around when Dano had his chats.
Yeah, he had some good shit.
He's very organized.
Well, yeah, he comes in here and racks our brains in the late night lobby, and then he drops out. We're just like, well, shit, now what the hell are we going to talk about?
Yeah, really, eh?
He had a apocalypse card game, or shit hits the fan card game, or whatever.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
They did that show. That was
that reminds me. I have a survival game that's kind of like that. It's focused more around like camping and hiking type stuff, not necessarily shit hits the fan, but it's like, whatever the things are. A black bear is attacking you. What do you do? And it gives you multiple choices of things to do.
Maggie, that's just called Oregon Trail.
No. He
No,
said
it's
multiple
board game.
choices. If it was Oregon
Oh,
Trail,
okay.
the only choice would be dysentery.
No. Oregon Trail is multiple choice. Come on.
No, it isn't. It's you're about to cross the river. Do you want to do anything? Yeah, I'll do.
Well,
this.
no, because you
Okay,
can
dysentery.
take the ferry.
You
can go
get your
around.
choice of
You can caulk your wagon and float it. There's many choices.
Don't
Yeah,
ford, you just get washed away.
But it's the same result for all the choices. It's like I'll cock the wagons and go across. Cool. Little Timothy just got dysentery. It's like, well, should have taken the ferry
Yeah. No
and
shit.
got dysentery on the ferry.
Well, almost
If there was a stampede,
Fairy dysentery.
the only choice for Stampede was hunt. Because who doesn't like, going out with 20 bullets and shooting 20 buffalo? Because you basically hit one every single time. And then it's like, you killed however many 1,000 pounds of meat. You carried back 500 pounds. You're like, yep, that'll teach you. But if you do that, then the Indians would
fuck?
come.
What the fuck was that? God damn it. Manifest
Was this on
Destiny.
Was this on a game preserve?
It's like motherfuckers, you just got Manifest Destiny.
No, you just don't know what Oregon Trail is. I think you're on the younger side for that.
Probably. Yeah, Oregon Trail. I remember like girls used to play that.
I used to play it, and my whole camp would get sick and die. Like,
Bob was like, wait, it was a game? It wasn't a game when I was doing it. We cocked the wagons and we lost 3 ox. It was fucking bullshit. My dad made me help pull the trailer.
we should make a new one where,
Yeah, they didn't call it trailers; they were called wagons.
Wait. Here's the thing. I went to one of them schools where they put us on those games and considered it history, I think.
Oh yeah, that was the best part about it, was that you got to play video games at school.
That's ridiculous.
They should make a new Oregon Trail, like a hardcore one.
They
Oh,
did. It's
realistic.
called Oregon Trail.
No, Bone Tomahawk. Oregon Trail Bone Tomahawk edition.
Rated MA.
What is that even in like reference to? Because I've never seen it.
Just watch the movie.
What
That
is
a
what in
powerful,
reference
ugly
to?
woman. Bone Tomahawk. Because for some reason, whenever it gets mentioned, PBR like gets mad.
He's a sensitive guy.
Oh, he is.
Sometimes his vagina gets in the way. He's chatting.
Yes, well, that's the thing with if you've been on YouTube for years, you tend to get a really thick skin, or you don't stay on YouTube. All right, because
That's not true at all.
oh, please, your skin's not just thick; it's furry.
No, I'm going to use the Young Turks as an example. They're not thin-skinned or thick-skinned about anything. Social justice warriors aren't
Yeah, but they're
about
social
anything.
justice warriors.
But they're on fucking YouTube all the goddamn time.
I mean, they get butthurt about everything. I mean, they're just, I don't know. There's
That's just because they're
something wrong with youth
liberal
today.
butthurt.
They feed on the hate.
Remember when, like, when you were a kid and you wanted to grow up, you wanted to be like the hot rodder or the biker or the bad guy, right? You didn't want to be the guy who was out there going, "Save the bunnies." Those were the ones you made fun of. I mean, I used to walk around with a Nuke the Whales T-shirt on because everybody wanted to save them, and I was like, "Fuck that! Let's just nuke the fuckers, and then we don't have to worry about them."
Why does that not sound like you, Bob?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I also was like, my other T-shirt said "Disco sucks." What can I say?
See, when I was a kid, we played a little game called...
I misspoke. I said, why does it not sound like you? I mean,
Oh,
it
okay.
completely sounds like you.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we played a little game called Cops and Black People.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, like one of them would like steal something or do something, and then the cops would chase them. And then we'd all like point our fingers at each other like guns and go pew pew until someone would pick up a stick. And then we'd all pick up sticks and be like pew pew.
And then you'd all beat the black kid who lived in the neighborhood, right?
Yeah, well that's just like, if you like roll up in a nice car, then we'd have to fuck with them. That's called old boy racism.
Yeah, I shouldn't say that. Probably some have decent cars, but most of them have those little tuner pieces of shit. I guess in my day it was Chevys. The fuck were they? They were just a crap car. They were some kind of, I don't know, Chevy sedan, really. And they used to put funny tires and wheels on them and fuzzy dice and fake fur dash and shit. Just tacky.
Wait. Panel side?
No. Ooh, what panel side?
Oh, my bad. You said sedan.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean like, those Chevy Malibus, I guess, and shit. They'd think,
Hey, nothing wrong with them.
the newer ones? Yeah, like the ugly ones from the late 70s. Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they
I mean,
they were cool.
67, 69, 67 to whatever Chevelle. I mean,
Oh, yeah, the older Chevelles. Oh, 66 Beaumonts.
Nova. I mean, yeah.
Oh, I didn't mind the Chevy stuff. I wouldn't own a Chevy because, I don't want to be like everybody and their dog, eh? Chevys were always real popular. I was a Dodge guy when I was younger. It was all Dodge. Chargers and Valiants and Cudas, and I like that stuff, not the... and I had friends that had Chevys, and I didn't, look down on them too much for having Chevys because I understood it was economics, right? Like, Chevys are so much more common than anything else. You could buy speed parts cheaper. Everything was cheaper, but Chevys didn't last. they broke and they weren't that great. But I mean, you know, they were the cheapest horsepower for your dollar.
And it might still be today.
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, that hasn't really changed. I mean, and Chevy's always been really good about race parts and stuff and crate engines. Kind of Ford and Dodge. Well, Dodge has always been behind on that shit. But Ford's been in and out, right? Like Ford used to be really push the racing, and then they got right out of it.
Yeah, Ford. It depends on the type of racing for Ford, I guess.
Yeah, I mean when they, who was it? When Etzel got mad at Enzo Ferrari and decided he was gonna take the 24-hour Le Mans from him. And just like, you know, go to the engineers at Ford and say, build me a car to beat Ferrari. What's our budget?
Oh,
Tell me
right.
it's fun.
Dude, were you on last night when we were talking about that?
No.
So funny you bring that up because I don't know who it was on last night or a couple nights ago, but they schooled me on the whole. It was Sean and somebody else schooled me on the whole Ford. What is it?
Program.
GT40 or something like that.
Yeah, the GT40 program. Yeah, it's really interesting that my brother's boss has one. He has a '66 GT40 from England. So steering wheel's on the wrong side, but other than that, it's like a 302. And yeah, 302 small block, man. And from 1966, it goes 200 miles a fucking hour. Like, and just now, right? It is so.
In 1966, wouldn't that be a 289 and not a 302?
No, for the racing engines, they were 302s. Yeah, that was something to do with a class or whatever. It was just a punched out 289, but I mean that was a punched out 260, which was a punched out 221. Like the Ford small blocks, the evolution of it's quite interesting. I've never liked them though. I always liked the big block Fords. I just love torque. Can make up for lack of horsepower in so many ways.
Oh, I mean, if it can get off that freaking line quicker.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So, or when it comes to track racing, I mean, accelerate through the corners and all that.
You know, if you ever, I don't know, it's probably on YouTube. I'm sure it is. That's probably where I saw it. But I think I might have saw it on TV originally. But and I think it was 65 or 66. Ford went road racing in England with Galaxies, with 429 or 427 powered Ford Galaxies. Yeah, and if you know what a mid 60s Ford Galaxy, it was huge, right? There is video of them out on the same track as guys in minis on a road racing course, and it is freaking hilarious. Because I mean, the honest to God, these Fords are 3 times the size of these minis, and they're passing them, you know, going around these corners. It's just incredible to watch. Just the power of these cars. But yeah, they would. Yeah.
How long are you going to be around tonight?
No, I'll be in and out around on the chats for a bit. Why?
Well, I was just going to say I got to roll some smokes, but then I'm going to try and track down those old pictures that I've really been meaning to show you.
Oh yeah, cool, man.
But
I finally got my Ranchero home. Now I just got to put a new front clip on it because it's smushed. But I'll have it for next year.
So the Ranchero. So what happened to it, or is it?
Oh
no! Wait! this is your build that you've redone a couple times, correct?
Yeah. This will be the third restoration. Hopefully the final one. But I gotta go. I gotta, like, I did the original one. It was a complete. But I drove it, and then I got in an accident with it, so it sat for years, and then I had to do another, basically another restoration, because if they sit for that long, you've got everything starts to rot. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go. Much as I don't want to go neoprene and all that in the bearings, or not bearings, in all the bushings, I'm probably gonna do that because I'm gonna use this thing as my tow vehicle, which seems crazy because it's like less than 5,000 originally produced. It's probably one of the last 5 or 6 still on the road.
And what's the weight of your trailer?
Well, I could tow this one. I'd have to do put my own 5th wheel hitch in and stuff. But
okay. So
I'm gonna get rid of this one and get a tow behind. Like a 25-foot tow behind.
That's where the Airstream idea came in for you, right?
Yeah. Right. So Airstream would be nice, more than likely, because they're really expensive to get a nice older one. And ideally, I'd want the same year, just because that's just cool. But a 73 Airstream that's been restored is going to be a lot of money. So I'll probably just pick up one of the newer lightweight, 25, 26-foot trailers. And yeah, it'll be easy tow behind that thing. Like that, it's rated the same as the standard half ton for towing and carrying. So, if you could tow it with a half ton, you could tow it with the Ranchero. The only problem is it's really low.
And in your experience, what is a decent trailer? For a guy who's just looking to get into a trailer, I don't need an Airstream or nothing like that. I would love one just for the shape and to be able to redo it. But
yeah,
do you have a recommendation for something to keep an eye out for? Kind of single guy.
Single. If you're going to retire in it, you don't want anything shorter than about a 25-foot. Like if you're going to spend time in it. If you're just camping, then yeah, like a 18-foot trailer's fine. But the thing is, with trailers, you're always upgrading because they wear out because you're on the road.
Well, that's one of the good things about my pops and some of his contacts is that they're all light truck and trailer people. So.
Mm-hmm.
I've put time in with the company that's a light truck and trailer company, and I have friends who build hot rods and not hot rods, but rat rods and all that sort of stuff.
Fun cars. Yeah, I was tempted. I've got a 75 Mercury Montego that's stone stock. It was it's an MX, so it's got all the chrome trim and everything, all the stainless trim and everything. But it's just like 351 Michigan motor. So terrible motor. Automatic. It was like gold brocade bench seat in the front. It was a 2-door, bench seat in the front. Back seat had never been sat in. Still had the original white cardboard in the trunk from the dealership.
Those bench seats up front can be nice, dude.
Well, it's like sitting on a couch. But
yeah,
you go around a corner and you start sliding over unless you're seat belted in nice and tight.
Well, you get to have your girl fucking right next to you.
Oh yeah. Oh hell, like no armrest, so there's nothing in the way. She can just lay her head in your knee if she wants to have a nap.
Oh, okay, nap. That's what we're talking. That's what we're calling it.
Yeah, tilt wheel and everything. But anyway, I was thinking I would take this thing because it's just this shitty brown color, and just like do it in monotone, like flat black everything, the stainless steel trim, everything. Just do everything flat black, and then just pull that Michigan out of it, put a 460 in it with a little bit of, breathe on it a little bit, maybe shim the heads and stuff, like get a little more compression, mild street and strip cam, that kind of stuff, dual exhaust, 4-barrel, or maybe a fuel injection. But, nothing like crazy, right? Not
Posy.
Yeah. Well, I'd put Posy in it for sure, yeah. But like nothing crazy like on the engine like supercharged or anything like that. You'd still pull 400 horsepower and at least 500 foot-pounds of torque. And that thing would go it would be fun to drive because those cars were fun to drive. There was no effort to turn the wheel.
Yeah, it's got to be beefy enough, but not a fucking rate. It doesn't have to be a race car Ranchero pulling your travel trailer.
Yeah. Well, the Ranchero I'm going to do up with. I got a 429, like the original 429 out of it. So a 1973 429, and I'm just going to go through that engine, throw in new rings, because it's only got 40,000 miles since the rebuild, where it had new pistons and rings and everything put in it. So I'm just going to throw in new rings, new bearings, new gaskets, more to just to stop the oil leaks because they always leak. The transmission's fine. It's only got 90,000 miles. It's a C6, so it's like indestructible. And then just go through the suspension, new bushings, new idlers and stuff like that, new bearings. Keep the stock, front disc brakes, and it's got huge rear drums, so just keep them stock. And for just pulling a trailer, I'll get 12 miles to the gallon, but I got 12 miles to the gallon whether I'm pulling the trailer or not. So, it's not that much worse than my 3/4 ton Dodge. And it looks cooler, and it really is a comfortable vehicle on the highway. It's got a split bench with an armrest, and they're kind of, the back parts are kind of contoured like a bucket seat, so they kind of hold you in. And with the armrest, you don't move. And it's only got lap belts. That's really cool. Love that. Don't like shoulder belts. So nice and comfortable for long trips because you're sitting with your legs stretched straight out in front of you. It's just like you're on a nice, comfy couch, but with your legs on a footstool almost. Because you sit flat in it, kind of. And it just rides nice. I say it's gonna be, and it's unique. It's got the wood grain. It's got all that, which is kind of funky, but at the same time, I like the look of it, and I can tell everybody it's camouflage because it's like green and brown and kind of beige. This is not camouflage like you usually do it in blotches. It's just like got brown on the sides and green everywhere else. But I found a cap for it. It's kind of a raised cap.
Now, I'm sorry, my earbud fell out of my ear. Now, is that Canadian camo?
Yeah, we'll call it Ford.
That would be maple
1970s
and, syrup. That'd be
we'll call
Canadian camo.
No, it's not syrup. Although I could get syrup colored decals for the sides, instead of the wood grain.
Or you could just gather the maple leaves and just start hot gluing them.
Oh fuck, man! Take the maple leaves and just use them to do the spray on camo. That'd be
pretty neat. But guys, I'm gonna shut this one down. Pink put his lobby up, so if you want to stay on air, you can jump to that one, or you can just chill here, and I'll be gone.
Right on.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Thanks, Mick.
Yep.